everybody. My name is Watto, the Flying Space Jew. Welcome to the virtual George Lucas talk show, Star Wars Day live stream. Jesus fucking Christ, what are we doing here? Our home, the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater in New York City, where we, through their various outposts, have been hosting a live talk show for the last 7 years, has recently closed, as the opening crawl might have said, leaving many souls stranded throughout the galaxy without the ability to pay rent in our nightmare society we find ourselves living in. So we're doing this. We're going to watch every goddamn live action Star Wars movie. It's a bad idea. I'm overcome with a sort of full body panic right now, immediately before we've even started watching a single thing. But without further ado, when you tune into a live stream, you're tuning in for comedy, okay? You're turning in for entertainment. You're turning in for charisma. I am merely your announcer, your sidekick, but I think this is the time I welcome to the stage your host for the evening and the morning and the afternoon and the following evening and the following morning, retired filmmaker George Lucas.
Hello, I'm George Lucas, creator of Star Wars. Welcome to the 30-hour Star Wars Day, Star Wars movie all-day watch-along.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Watto,
George, to make this clear, this is a watch-along. We are not going to be streaming the Star Wars films on the stream because you do not own them anymore. They were stolen from you.
No, they're for the most part they're Disney properties now, and for the most part they're going to be available. We're going to be watching them. I have an iPad in front of me. Do you have a device or a personal computer of some sort?
Yes, I have a laptop and a TV screen. Now, George, you apparently philosophically refuse to own a laptop, despite the fact that you have revolutionized so much tech in show business.
I don't have a laptop, no. I think a desktop or a portable device, those are full measures, and I don't believe in half measures. I think
and this might seem like a bit to people, but this is truly a thing we figured out while doing the sort of tech rehearsal for this live stream a couple days ago, that you refuse to own a laptop because they're dumb, in your opinion.
Right. Yeah, there's no point. So I have an iPad and a Disney Plus account. So when we begin the marathon at 12:15, this is the intro period. We figured we'd need a period to catch people up on the circumstances. Sure. Say hello, because I haven't seen you since our last show, which was in February before
It's been a little while, yes.
Right. So we're going to be starting with episode 1, The Phantom Menace, at 12:15.
We're going in chronological order, strict chronological order. Yes.
Right. We want to. This is going to be about experiencing the story.
Yes.
And with any story, you want to begin at the beginning.
Machete cut. I'd rather take a machete to the balls. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I do understand what you're saying, though I would never express it in those terms.
Yes, right. Of course. Yes. You don't like to draw attention to your genitals.
But it's very nice to see you, Watto. I'm looking forward to watching these movies again. And I do feel like, at the moment, I've spoken about this. The most recent Star Wars trilogy deviated from my plans. I wanted to tell a story about microbiology, basically an unseen tiny creatures called the wills that control all the behavior of all living beings, and
it really controls society at large. These little things inside of us that we cannot see.
Right, and I'm not saying that I could have prevented what's happening now if those movies had been made, but maybe we would have been prepared for an unseen microbiological villain, a Phantom Menace, if you will.
Yes, this is kind of your Mark Wahlberg moment. I'm sure, I should make it clear to our viewers, you find no joy in the current circumstances, but you sit back and you think to yourself, if I had been there, things might have gone a little differently. If I had gotten to make my final trilogy, things might have gone
Or even if someone else had made my final trilogy, just listen to the storytellers. Listen to the storytellers. They're telling you a story.
Well, we talked about it. I mean, the last 3 films are fan fiction films because they are not about what actually happened. They're people making up ideas of things that could have happened, but they're not true. They're not factual.
Right. Right. For all of Star Wars Day, up until almost the very end of the first 24 hours, we'll be seeing what really happened in a galaxy far, far away. Right. And then we're going to watch some very entertaining speculation.
You're essentially going to watch, they are about as close to documentaries as you can get. They're a docudrama. It's like the films of Costas Gravas. We're looking at something akin to the Battle of Algiers here. You have a lot of people like myself who really lived these circumstances, who you then hire as an actor to reenact those circumstances. Of course, mixed in with some great actors like Liam Neeson. But yes, this is very close to how it really happened. The best we could sort of replicate it.
Right, and we're going to be having some friends come along with us the whole way. But for a long stretch tonight, it's just going to be you and me.
And tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night and then the following.
And it won't be perfectly synced up because we're all going to be probably just slightly off in how we.
We're all going to go like 3, 2, 1 and press play at the same time. And for the 9 films that are considered the Skywalker saga, all of those are on Disney Plus. As is Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Solo is on Netflix, and the other 3 films. Well, we'll see how we'll watch those.
Right. So you have time now if you don't have a Disney Plus account. If you don't have a Netflix account, you have a few minutes to form those connections on your devices. Now, one of the things, this is kind of a telethon. We're doing this for a good cause, which is that when the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater in New York had to close, there was a lot of there were staff members who are in need of some assistance, and so I believe if you're on the planetscum.live feature on your device on your computer, there should be an easy way of clicking something to. I realize that it's a hard time for everybody right now, but even if you can just give a few dollars, every little bit helps.
Do we know what the minimum is? Is it 5? Is it 1? Can they throw in some shekels? What are we looking at here? Can they pay in credits?
I'm ashamed to say I don't know what the minimum amount is. I don't know that I'd even be able to conceive of how little that amount is.
Okay. Fair enough.
But I'll be giving some, and I might give $1 million, $1 billion. I don't know, but I'll do that anonymously. If you'll see a very big donation that is anonymous on the total.
Yes,
that's me.
Right, and I will say if you see like a donation that's like of a medium size, like more than everyone else is giving, but not the kind of number that's ostentatious, and that number is anonymous.
Right.
This guy.
Right. Absolutely. Well, we're 5 minutes away. That's only 300 seconds from the beginning of the Phantom Menace.
I'm going to get to my app ready here. How are you doing, George, on a personal level? You are in a basement. I see an AT-AT behind you, an AT-AT.
Yeah. That's just there. It's no big deal. You're holding. We're social distancing. We're doing. Everyone is staying safe. I want to encourage people to keep staying safe. I think we need to think of the danger that's out there as it hasn't gone away. At various points in the Star Wars saga, the rebels got complacent and they thought that the threat had gone away. And when you let your guard down, that's when truly sinister forces can seize power.
Yes. That is, I think, exactly what we're experiencing right now. And I will say, you, of course, are on Skywalker Ranch quarantining. I am here in New York City. And these fuckers, you give them one day of good weather, they go out and go, oh, look at me. I guess I'm breaking the rules. Like, LOL. It's bullshit.
Right.
It's absolutely disgusting.
Right.
Yes.
I do think that, and this is an exclusive. I haven't said this before, but there was an evil droid in my version of episodes 7, 8, and 9.
Wow.
I take no pride in saying that the name of the droid was the name of the droid was COVID-19. No one listened.
George, sometimes you're not only a storyteller, sometimes you are a soothsayer.
A soothsayer, yes. I think sometimes it is true that I have predicted a lot of things. You know, I predicted the Iraq War. I predicted the Iraq War with my prequel trilogy. We'll talk about that when the movies happen. When Jar Jar.
Did Watto bring his glasses over here?
You don't have your glasses? I have my glasses.
I have my glasses, so I don't really wear them. But I mean, you know, we're watching a movie tonight, so.
Right. We're 3 minutes away from the beginning of the marathon. It was luxurious of us to build in 15 minutes at the top of a 30-hour marathon. But I'm glad we did it.
Because space. I mean, we want to be able to get the word in edgewise, the two of us.
Right. Well, because it's also possible that we'll just watch the movies in silence because they're that compelling.
Absolutely. It's very possible.
I can't promise that this will be a nonstop commentary, nor can I promise that I will stay awake for all of it. I am 75 years old, and I would like to go to sleep.
And I am much, much younger than that.
Old. Yes, much younger.
George, when was the last time you saw this film, The Phantom Menace?
Well, it's hard to keep track of days, but I think I just watched it a couple days ago.
Okay. I will admit, as much as I love this film, I watched most of the Star Wars films, you know, the real ones, on a regular basis. I was a big fan of your work before we became collaborators. You know, I have a very hard time watching myself. I'm very hard on myself as an actor. It's one of the reasons I moved largely behind the camera, but then also in front of the camera on a talk show. So this is going to be a real journey for me to relive this.
I want to tell people to get ready to queue up The Phantom Menace on their Disney Plus. I believe there are some people who believe that we were going to just provide these movies for them.
Absolutely
but it's impossible.
You don't own them anymore. They were stolen.
I don't own them anymore. So you're going to have to play them on Disney Plus. That is the legal way to watch a Star Wars movie now. When we get to Solo, you're going to have to switch over to Netflix, and then later on, hopefully, we'll be able to help you out with some of the harder to find titles.
Look, stick with us. We might be able to help you out. Okay, George, I'm here. I have it ready to go. They've updated on Disney Plus with some very nice concept artwork. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, it's beautiful. It's really gorgeous.
Got the picture of the Naboo Starfleet. Is that what that ship's called? The Royal Starfleet?
Absolutely gorgeous concept art.
I would fuck that ship. Yes, yes.
All right. This is very exciting. We're getting ready for the beginning of the saga. If you don't have Disney Plus, well, gosh, what were you thinking?
Oh my God! Our producer Patrick Codner looking very tired already.
Why are we doing this?
What do you mean?
Oh my God! Hi guys. How are you?
Hello, Patrick.
We're gonna start, but I wanted to let people know that we're gonna have a clock on screen that they can. This is how they'll be able to sync it up while they're watching the movie.
That's fantastic. So if you fall behind, you can just
know
use
exactly
the
yes.
There's a bar at the bottom of Disney Plus, and you can scroll along to the proper time code.
I think we can start now, right? It's 12:15.
Yeah, right. Let's start.
Let me start so we can start at the same time. You ready?
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
1, 2, 3.
All right. I've pressed play. I'm seeing that 20th Century Fox logo at the beginning. That's an old friend. Hello, old friend.
Disney has detected an HDCP issue that is preventing your content from playing.
What?
There's all these issues.
What's happening, Watto?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm already well into it. Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I'm already watching the movie. It's Star Wars. That's the first thing that happens in Star Wars is you see the name Star Wars, and that's how you know you're watching a Star Wars movie. I was very clear about that from the beginning. Episode 1. I'm going to read the crawl for the people who don't have Disney Plus or who are scrambling to form an account. The Phantom Menace. Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. The taxation of trade routes to outlying star systems is in dispute. Already, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Hoping to resolve the matter with a blockade of deadly battleships, the greedy Trade Federation has stopped all shipping to the small planet of Naboo. This is timely because President Trump is terrible at trade and he's greedy and he's talking about closing the post office.
And also, you should understand how bad would it be if Amazon stopped all shipping? You know, our society would collapse.
While the Congress
would be bigger.
Yeah. Well, sometimes Amazon does stop things that they shouldn't stop.
Very rare.
While the Congress of the Republic endlessly debates this alarming chain of events, the Supreme Chancellor has secretly dispatched 2 Jedi Knights, the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, to settle the conflict. You'll notice, guardians of the galaxy. Interesting.
And actually, you were there first. Actually, George, you were there first.
George got there first, I'm afraid. And then we see a spaceship. How exciting. A spaceship, and it flies past the camera. Just imagine a cameraman there in space, and he's whipping past them. Captain? Yes, sir. Tell them we wish to board at once. Those were the first lines of dialogue. And here we are. Look at that greedy Trade Federation person. The Nemoidians. Already, we are in a thrilling adventure that's not afraid to look at trade policy, which affects everything.
Do you know what I just thought about, George?
What's that?
We're about to do this 14 fucking times in a row.
All right, Watto. That kind of salty language that might fly on Tatooine, but let's keep it clean here on Twitch as much as we can, and especially
we're not on network TV anymore. Oh boy, look at this droid.
It's almost a C-3PO.
Oh, but a little. I don't know, something a little saucier about this one, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, look.
I hate to. Yeah, there we are, Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor, fine actors, both of them, and I had to pull them back. There was a lot of emoting they wanted to do, and I said, "Knock it off, boys."
Look, most actors they love to ham it up.
No ham here.
Right. This is you try to keep a kosher set, George.
This is a scene. We're talking about the Viceroy. We're talking about the Chancellor. This is adult business, but in a children's fantasy. Because these movies are for kids.
They are. They are for kids.
I do regret. I think they just said the negotiations will be short. I should have made the Nemoidians shorter, because that would be a funny gag if it cuts to them and they're very short.
It is a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Humor there.
Ooh, that's a good line. He says, "Are you brain dead?" It's a good line. It's a zinger. Zings him right where it counts.
She's beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Where did you find?
I wanted Star Wars. I mean, she's divine. Look at her.
TC-14. The shine.
More like TZ-14. She's a real tease.
The way she offers.
I always imagined that Star Wars would begin with 2 men left waiting in a conference room. Because I thought, that's something real. That happens.
Yes.
Now, here was an interesting thing. We see Darth Sidious on a little holographic message.
Who is this guy? Who is this?
Who is this guy? Who's Darth Sidious? Who is that guy?
A Phantom Menace hanging over the film.
I want to know who that guy is, and I have no idea.
Unbelievable.
Oh. I got in some trouble for these Nemoidians. But I want to point out that, these characters took place a long time ago in a far, far away place. So any associations that anyone might make with, 20th or 21st century stereotypes, that's impossible. It's implausible. These are ancient stories.
Who did you get in trouble with? Like a Nemoidian rights group? Like, who was angry at you?
Exactly. Who's angry? No one. That's who.
Now,
I like these battle droids and the smoke.
These battle droids look great, and a thing that's great about them, if I can show a little pride here, because representation doesn't matter. These are digital actors we're looking at here.
Right. These are not practical. We never built any of these. These are CGI characters.
Thank God.
But they look They look 1,000% real.
Now this film,
they're silly. They're silly. They're goofy. They never. I didn't want them to be a threat because the whole point is that these are, they couldn't be more threatening than the stormtroopers in episodes 4, 5, and 6. So I decided let's make these bozos a little bit silly, a little bit funny.
Sure.
Have them say things like Roger, Roger. They look like birds. I always thought make those battle droids look like birds. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah, most of what you're seeing, a lot of these things, if we had to film on a practical set, it would be made of wood. And then what we found out was that it sounds like they're acoustically in wood.
Right.
We re-recorded all of the lines.
Right.
And you just gotta. That's what I think gives the acting a special quality.
Exactly.
It's the acting.
People don't realize that.
It's the time between principal photography and ADR that the acting choices have a chance to really ripen.
And it's great for an actor to be removed from all context, to not be distracted by anything else to react to just focus in a vacuum and say the one line over and over again until you say, we can move on. There's another thing. I will read sometimes people will say, oh, Phantom Menace, the acting is so wooden. If you think this is wooden, you should have listened to the wood cut before we did the ADR,
That's good. I'm going to start saying that.
That was really wooden. I mean, you could hear oak, pine, elm, redwood.
I mean, already that we've gone from a delayed business meeting to a full-on battle. Now Queen Amidala herself appears. So that's the great Natalie Portman. She's sitting there.
Already, I feel the need for a
stillness, utter stillness.
First lozenge
The
of
trade
the
boycott of our planet has ended. She's dynamite.
She's dynamite acting. Hey, she's dynamite. Right, George? Remember that in the 70s?
I do remember that. It's a good time.
Remember?
Oh gosh, are we really 25 minutes into this?
And only 8 minutes into the first of 14 movies.
Well, the fascinating thing, and now here we are at Naboo.
Okay, here already
planet Naboo.
And you filmed this
beautiful.
On
Parts of this, yes. Parts of this are practical, and that's unfortunate.
Yes.
And now we see Palpatine for the first time.
This is a guy. This is an actor I have not yet seen on screen in this movie. This is a new character. No hint of this man yet in this film.
Right. I knew that in Phantom Menace, one of the things that was important to me was to have several. This is the second, essentially, board meeting.
Of course.
And this one is assembled in a circular fashion.
Right.
Same as the Jedi Council, which we'll see later. If you have a scene in a circle, that's very dynamic.
Yes.
Because think of all the things in wheels are a circle, and Max Rebo's keyboard that he plays is a circle. You see that?
You got the circles there with you in the basement.
That's right, and you'll notice that. Look for all the circles you see. That's a fun thing we can do over the next 30 hours. Because even in the number 30,
yes,
yeah, the number 30, the 0 is a circle. And earlier, when Qui-Gon cut through the door with his lightsaber, he was cutting in a circular motion. You'll see circles throughout Star Wars because life is often circular. We find ourselves coming around again. We find ourselves.
Can I cut out there for a second?
You did cut out for a second. While I was terrified.
My finger hit the wrong button. Can I tell you what I was seeing, George, on my computer?
Yeah, what were you seeing?
A mutual friend of ours, let's call him Ron Howard, okay?
Right.
Texted me, this is going to break you. It is feeling energy-wise unsustainable for 2 hours. let alone 30. This is insane.
That's from Ron?
Yeah, let's say it's from Ron Howard.
All right. Well, Jar Jar just showed up, so we've already proven that wrong, because this is our second win. We're getting our second win right now. Wasn't that? Hey, wait. Jar Jar's here. He says, "Ooh, mooey, mooey, I love you." Now, this is a part where it starts to get fun. We've had a business meeting. We've had a second conference meeting. In between, we had a battle. But now Jar Jar is here to bring the comedy. He's saying, "Misa, stay. Misa called Jar Jar Binks. Misa, your humble servant." Every line is a winner, and every line, "'Tis demanded by the gods it is." Even a serious line that has some gravitas to it is fun and funny. I think coming up is the line "Excuse me," which is a Wayne's World joke that I decided to use in Star Wars.
Now, is it not true that you dated Tia Carrere from Wayne's World?
I don't want to talk about personal life things, but I won't deny that.
Sure.
Excuse me.
You've been a big fan of Wayne's World, and you have both walked the walk and talked the talk. You have quoted Wayne's World in your own work. You have dated Wayne's girlfriend in your real life.
Allegedly. Yeah, I mean, I've lived a full life. I won't deny that I've had romance in my life.
Yes, and I fucked Carol Kane on and off throughout the 80s.
Who's that?
Carol Kane, the great Carol Kane.
Right.
Emmy Award winner,
Oscar
nominee.
Right. From The Princess Bride?
From Taxi. That's when we were fucking.
Right.
This sort of post-Taxi.
When she was playing Simka, Latka's lover. I
was really very into that character.
There's so much physical comedy on display here in the Phantom Menace.
It's keeping me awake. I can't imagine ever falling asleep at any point in the next 30 hours of comedy like this.
I put a little spin on every line of dialogue. He doesn't say okay, he says okay.
Right. You got to put a little spin on the ball. And that's what Jar Jar.
It was a great opportunity for a fun dialect with this character, and everything he says is a delight. He's saying "okie day" again, and now they're going underwater, and that's, very exciting. We see Jar Jar's hometown, Gunga City, which is beautiful. And if you go to the Lucas Museum website, you can see production art for Gunga City.
So beautiful.
And I, obviously the current situation has probably delayed the opening of the museum somewhat. We'll wait and see. But
that must be tough for you. I don't even know how you're dealing with that.
You just have to. Everyone's in the same boat right now. We're all doing our best to stay safe, and we'll get through this.
We're all in the same. What's the ship that looks like a stingray that they're about to get in the next 5 minutes? We're all in that.
They're called the Bonga.
Right.
Oh, thank you, Patrick.
We're all in the same Bonga. We're all in the same Bonga.
Patrick, how many viewers do we have right now?
We're at like 350, somewhere around there.
That is absurd.
It's absurd.
Oh, this is my favorite character, the Fat Gungan. Yeah. There's a Fat Gungan.
Going to the bosses.
Yeah.
Yusa in big doo-doo this time. He's in big doo-doo this time. Jar Jar's in genuine trouble. He's about to be reprimanded by his betters, his superiors. I have to say, I thought this was going to be hard. This is easy because this movie is delightful.
It's easy.
And the thing is, these movies are an inspiration because they're about perseverance. They're about getting through a difficult time. There's nothing easy about experiencing a Star War.
No.
And in the world of these stories. And these characters go through a tremendous amount of suffering, hardship. But they're there for each other.
Yes.
And everybody does their part. We'll see that time and again.
One could say that the real Star War was the friends we made along the way.
Oh, that's a beautiful sentiment.
George.
Yeah.
Some people have been asking some questions. Do you want me to ask you?
Absolutely.
Actually, the first one's for Watto. It's from I Laugh Alone. They want to know if you've ever partaken in the use or sale of death sticks.
Well, what am I running for Congress here? What kind of who doesn't sell death sticks at some point? You know, you're trying to get capital to open up a laundromat in order to have a pipeline to funnel cash for some of your other business. This is I don't want to answer that. I only have death sticks after I've been drinking. That's my answer.
Okay.
Is that the only question?
No, I mean there's more. Do you want more of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. George Los Cruz asks, who were your inspirations for Jar Jar? Chaplin, Keaton, Jolson?
All the greats. You know, you can go through the hall of classic physical comedians. Certainly, he contains the best of all comedy because he's a physical comedian like Keaton, but he also is verbally dexterous and unafraid to shock if necessary. But he also has a serious side. That's why I had him go into politics. So really, any of the great comedians would be part of the lineage that I was aspiring towards with Jar Jar.
And also any of the great politicians.
Right, absolutely.
George, can we talk about your jacket? One of the many tragedies of the closing of the UCB Theater in New York City and quarantine is that you no longer have your Howard the Duck jacket in your possession. Right.
I normally for the George Lucas Talk Show, I have a Howard the Duck crew jacket, which is flashy and funny, and
it gets a laugh from the second you walk on stage.
Right, and in my current circumstances, you know, a lot of things are in storage. We're preparing to be part of the museum, so what I have here, the closest thing I had to something that was like flashy and kind of show business appropriate is a Michael Jackson Beat It jacket, because Michael Jackson, of course, was in Captain EO.
Of course.
Obviously, now deceased and also disgraced. But let's not blame the jacket, which is a good piece of fashion. And I've had this. This is true. I've had this since the early 1980s. I was a different size back then, so it doesn't. This is as close as it comes to closing. But I hope I think it pops on camera.
Oh, no question.
Right? And I'm wearing a Mandalorian T-shirt.
Oh, wow.
In the spirit of, we won't be watching The Mandalorian as part of this, but in the spirit of, you know, embracing the new, because obviously The Mandalorian is one of the newest and most exciting Star Wars things, even though I only, I visited the set and, you know, I have some connection to it. I've held Baby Yoda.
But that's big. They're finally starting to extend the olive branch over at New Lucasfilm. Right?
I got my foot in the door. Back in the door again.
Taking my advice. You direct like one episode.
Oh, Max the Big the Force.
Filmmaker. I know you just want to make little art films and only show them to your friends. But in all seriousness, if Kathy Kennedy emailed you and said, "Hey George, we had someone drop out. You want to do Mandalorian 304?" Would you do it?
I mean, I'm always, you know, never say never, but, you know, I really have said that I'm done directing Star Wars. I'll leave that to other people.
Yes.
But who knows? You know, I do like social distancing as a filmmaking tactic. If I could make the film and everyone is just alone in green screen rooms and we're filming, I start to think, hey, getting some of that filmmaking mojo back. Everyone. I always have preferred to be socially distant.
You were doing it.
So maybe
it was cool. Yes.
Yeah. There's no reason that we couldn't make a new Star Wars just shooting it on a Zoom. I think the next Star Wars probably will be a Zoom. I really like the name Zoom because it's fast. I like fast things. So if you tell me we're going to make it on a Zoom, I'm listening.
Yes.
Here we are. We're looks like all these spaceships are flying down towards Naboo, and Queen Amidala is pensive. She is absolutely, this is not good. All these battle droids, and I want to reemphasize, these battle droids are a bunch of knuckleheads. These jokers are goofy as heck, and
they're toothpicks. You can knock them out with a breath, with a strong cough.
Yeah.
Although, who among us could not be knocked out by a strong cough these days?
And everyone's familiar with the angry birds. Well, these battle droids, they're a bunch of goofy birds. They're a bunch of silly birds. Although I'm sure that they have some anger issues. These droids, of course, do have feelings.
George, I have a big question for you. I have a loaded question for you, just because over the next 30 hours, I feel like we're going to be doing lots of retro.
29 and a half hours, my friend. 29 and a half hours.
Fair enough. We have 38 minutes.
We've burned through the first 38 minutes of this. I feel like I'm back at Altamont right now. That's how energized I feel.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize I need to find a better pitch of energy to be able to sustain for 30 hours. George, I'm sorry, 29 and a half. George, does it hurt you watching this film today, seeing upwards of 10 different locations used, actual locations? This was still in the day where not every location could be CGI. Now, something like The Mandalorian, they talk about, it's almost all virtual backlot. They finally perfected it. Very few real sets in the entire show. This one, I'm seeing some real elements. I'm seeing, Ewan McGregor touching a real banister, jumping into a real ground, even if it's man built, on a soundstage. This must really hurt to have to see.
Right. Well, and also
getting real objects in this way.
Yes, and in addition to this, it's a tragic waste of effort to have all this location filming, but also in the light of the current circumstance, terribly irresponsible.
Horribly.
Each of these characters is well within a 6-foot distancing. They've encroached on personal distance.
Yes.
Look at this crowd. If one of these people has COVID-19, they've all got it. And so that alone, I'm just glad that for the next, let's say, 5 years, everything's going to be filmed on Zoom. That's the dream.
And I think you and I have been talking about it a lot. All of our favorite comedy shows that have been producing new episodes over Zoom, it feels exactly the same.
It's better. If anything, it's better.
It's one of the things that we always hated about doing the George Lucas talk show was having a live audience, having to respond to the energy of a crowd, time ourselves around laughs. These things suck.
Who needs it? This is better.
Burden.
I'd rather do 30 hours of this than 1 minute of that live show.
Absolutely. That's why we're doing 30 hours of this, to prove how much we would prefer.
How much we love it. This is what we wanted.
We want to do 30.
Obviously, it's a tragedy. Obviously, I'm not making light of the horrible things people are going through, but this is what we wanted.
We found the media.
This kind of show. Because I can, I can do whatever I want here.
Yes.
Whereas that wasn't always true in the live theatrical show.
No.
Hey, George, can I bust in with a question?
Absolutely. Go ahead and bust in.
Monotone Duck wants to know why they don't understand why George just doesn't make animated movies.
I mean, I've made animated movies. I made The Land Before Time. I go through my filmography. What a ridiculous thing to say. I've made animated movies. Are you saying exclusively animated movies?
I think that was the vibe. Yeah,
Strange Magic.
Well, it was always easier to just film somebody and have them show up. Animation was always a luxury, and I mean, it's as great a time as any to plug Detours. I self-produced 39 episodes of a Star Wars animated show.
Absolutely.
Disney owns it now. They will not release it. Maybe they will now. Maybe if everybody who hears about it asks Disney, they could release it with, the press of one button. I think they could press one button and all 39 episodes of Star Wars Detours, an animated show featuring voice talent, including Billy D. Williams as Lando. So it's original cast member as a voice of a character, Ahmed Best as Jar Jar Binks. And these episodes, which if you tally them up, they're short episodes. They're normal like a sitcom.
Yes.
But if you tally them up, it's more hours of Star Wars than I directed as a live action filmmaker.
Now,
and they are in the Disney. They're in the Disney vault.
Now, here's my question. Okay, producer Patrick, 2 questions.
Right.
Yeah.
First question: did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was a good answer.
But did you enjoy asking?
Yeah.
So you would say that the bustin' made you feel good? Bustin' makes me feel good.
We are only 30 minutes into this, and you're already at that point, Watto.
Okay, now here's my second question for you.
Right.
Seriously.
Patrick, don't be a wrong man. Be a right man.
Exactly. Thank you. Be an Ivan right man. Patrick.
And Jason.
Well, let's see. Let's see
if that goes straight to video on demand.
Yeah, it might go to Sony minus.
What's your second question, Watto?
My second question is, how many people do we have watching right now?
Right now, I'll have to look. Hang on 1 second.
I bet we lost some. I bet we've gone down. I wish there was a way I could always see the numbers. I love the numbers.
340. We lost 10.
Because people are deciding to go to bed.
So we did a show at New York Comic Con. Another thing that we will be happy to see never happen ever again. I hate being around that many people. I hate living off the energy of interpersonal contact and other human beings. It's a burden and it's a drag. But what I want to say is, we tried to do this then. What if we make this a real goal now with this live stream? Once an hour, ask people, whoever is watching at this moment, tweet at Disney Plus, release Star Wars Detours now.
Hashtag?
Yes. It would be hashtag.
Please.
May Detours be with you. I think that's a good hashtag, right?
Let's get this straight. May Detours be with you. Detours.
No,
Detours.
May Detour. May Detours be with you.
Detours.
That's
like a detour in the road.
Yeah.
A detour. There we go.
Yeah. That's the hashtag.
But you also have to say release Star Wars Detours.
I was going to say, in the
yes,
body
you also have to say, in the body of the tweet, some
man.
variation, make it your own, have fun with it, make it your own.
But be
demand that Disney, because it's very nice that Disney Plus is releasing The Rise of Skywalker. It may have already happened on Disney Plus, and that they've got other Star Wars content that's coming out.
Yes, of course.
But they could release 39 episodes of one of the last George Lucas produced Star Wars titles, Star Wars Detours. It's a goofy comedy, fun time. And everyone involved in it, if you ask them, will it ever be released? They all confidently say it will never be released.
Yes.
But I'm saying it will be released today.
And I'll go beyond that. George, I will say, are we about to say the same thing? What were you about to say?
I was about to say I don't know what I was about to say.
I am willing to say not continuous, but if they release Star Wars Detours on Disney Plus within the time frame that we are doing this live stream, we will commit to doing another live stream for all of Detours. Not
absolutely.
There will be a break in between the two.
Oh, it will be weeks from now.
Yeah. But that is a commitment.
We commit. We'll commit. And we absolutely will commit, and we'll do another thing for charity.
Yes.
Because we want to remind people again that to go to the GoFundMe for the UCB New York staff.
But I want to make it clear. Yes.
And give whatever you can.
There are two calls to action. 2 calls to action. 1.
2 calls to action.
GoFundMe, UCB staff. Link should be visible. Number 2. May Detours be with you. Tweet it at Disney Plus. Feel free
at
to
Disney Plus.
You can also tag in Lucasfilm. You can tag in Large Disney. You can tag in your local congressman.
Hashtag Star Wars Day. Hashtag Star Wars Day. So it shows up when people are looking for Star Wars Day things. We want this to be a movement. The rebellion. The rebellion was built because people of goodwill and good nature got together to make a difference in the galaxy.
But every hour, there's going to be another call to arms. Every hour at the 45th minute, we are going to ask people to tweet #MayTheTorch be with you.
Let's do it at the 39th minute. So it's 1 minute for every episode that I personally paid for and produced and then gave to Disney as a free bonus when they bought Star Wars. I threw it in. I said, how about you take a little Star Wars detours? I wish I'd held on to it. I should have held on to it. I could release it myself.
Now, George,
I thought they'd release it.
Can I make a variation on the most financially successful joke of all time?
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching where we're at in the movie right now, and I got a good feeling about this. I think we're about to see a little bit of a breakout. Oh, there!
Oh, boy.
Oh, God, I can't believe how fat I was then.
Oh, yeah, you gained that weight for this part, like De Niro in Raging Bull.
That's the problem is, I used to be very, very trim. My whole body was as skinny as my limbs.
I said, no. I said, Watto's got appetites.
And back then, it was easy to throw the pans on, burn them off. Now I'm older, I'm 31 years old, and the weight definitely sticks to me a little bit more permanent.
What is the lightsaber attached to a phone cord on your belt?
What do you mean? It's a little toy lightsaber. What do you mean? What kind of question is that? It's a toy lightsaber like George has.
I've just never noticed it before, and I wanted to ask.
George is chugging milk. Is that milk, George?
That was chocolate milk, yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm drinking ice water out of my own back.
Here we have young Anakin. This is where the saga really begins. We've had a lot of business meetings. We've had some fights. We've had some action. We've had some comedy. But this is where the story really starts because we've just met baby Darth Vader. He's a little boy. He's a little baby. He's feisty, but he's good-natured. He's a good kid.
I want to say,
emphasize that.
Ron Howard tweeted us, your clothes will be raw in like 17 hours.
What?
He's saying you and I, because we're not going to maybe be able to shower for the next 30 hours. I guess he's referring to my little vest and your entire ensemble.
Right. I don't know that these are helpful comments. I don't know why someone would want to haze us in the early going where I feel nothing but joy at enjoying the Star Wars story. Watch this. Watto you're really getting in Qui-Gon Jinn's face.
It's embarrassing. Yeah. It's hard to watch. I hate watching myself on screen.
No, you're great. You're great in this. The camera loves you.
Do you remember how hot it was this day when we were filming?
Well, not for you. You hadn't been rendered yet.
No, but I mean, I could feel it just in terms of the heat. The computers were overheating.
Oh right, yeah. The CPU.
Yes, the fans were so loud that day on the hard drive.
That's why we had to dub all your lines.
Yes, which I appreciated. It gave me a second chance to get everything just right.
Yeah. We just learned that Anakin is good at building things.
He's great.
That's interesting to know. That's interesting. And Jar Jar is getting into more trouble.
Can I tease something on the subject of good at building things?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm sure there have been a great many Lego sets made based around the Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Lego, puzzles, activities of that sort have been very popular during quarantine. And so I thought it might be good to order a Lego set of my own so that if things get a little dry here during the next 29 hours and 15 minutes.
And 9 minutes.
That I have something to kill some time. So at some point when it feels necessary, I will be completing the Lego Technic Fast and Furious Dom's Charger set.
Ooh. Wow. Right
here with my Vin Diesel Fast and Furious pillow. You know I love Star Wars, but baby, in terms of current franchises, Fast and Furious is my jam.
Well, you know, I don't like Fury, but I do like things that go fast.
It goes very fast. I'm telling you, you will not believe how fast the thing is going in this movie.
Jar Jar's getting into trouble. He's up to his antics. He's trying to, he's knocking stuff around. He's eating stuff. He's making mistakes. Now he's whistling.
Great under 5 actors on this show during this shoot. Right. And Sebulba. Now this guy, people don't understand. This guy was such a method actor.
Right. Sebulba was you don't know what you're gonna get take after take with Sebulba.
You don't. He's kind of got a Joaquin Phoenix energy. His process is so pure and so raw. He's a wild man. His character is wild. He wants to get a reaction out of his co-stars, you know? And even on set, I mean, sometimes we'd be in the same hard drive and I would just sort of be looking around the desktop and I'd be like, hey, Sebulba, how are you doing? And he'd be like, get the fuck away from me, you know?
Yeah. That's why we actually kept you in separate folders on the hard drives.
We had to be separated into different folders. Someone's asking if they can donate in Yippee. Yippee. How do you Yippee?
No, that any currency that was used during these stories is no longer connected to a functioning government.
Long time ago.
Galaxy far away. Now. Yeah, even if it was, the exchange rate, the fee you'd pay on it would be tremendous. It's better if you can do it in some form of Earth currency.
Absolutely.
Oh, my bones are aching. No one ever quotes that line, but Anakin says it. Oh, my bones are aching. A lot of older people say that.
Yes. Do you think
it's a very popular. It's one of the most popular Star Wars lines that people don't think of as a Star Wars line. Oh, my bones are aching. How many times with older people, they love to quote young Anakin, which that's fascinating. They'll say, "Oh, my bones are aching."
They'll say,
Yippee. Yeah. It's always fun on Star Wars the way the doors open because they're not like regular doors. No. I always said, let's make the doors
they go like
different.
This, or they go like this, or sometimes they go like this. That's my impression of a rotating or revolving door. Like a whip man, like an edit, a white edit, you know?
Here we go, 3PO. We're going to see 3PO. We've already got R2 on the scene.
Now, people say this a lot. C-3PO is one of the absolute nicest guys in this business.
Look at him. This is as naked as you're ever going to see C-3PO.
It feels so vulnerable. I feel like, I
showed it all. I showed it all. I left nothing to the imagination. People say that my films aren't sensual, but they are.
Yeah. I mean, look at
how might I serve you?
Right, I'm hanging dong this entire movie. Every droid you see is butt naked. These are very sexual films. The little boy wants to fuck the slightly older girl. I'm sorry for the George. I'm trying to. I feel free.
Well, no, I think we can. With 30 hours, I can be a little bit looser about. Well, see, I beg your pardon, but what do you mean naked?
Yes.
That's a line out of Basic Instinct. My parts are showing. My goodness. Oh, 3PO, of course, is a classic sub. I think R2 is more of a dom.
I think so too.
If we're being honest.
Yeah, and I think TC-14 is versatile.
Yeah. And I think R5D4 is asexual.
Absolutely. I think the pit droids are non-binary. I know we're moving lateral here. I know we're moving very lateral here.
Right. I just saw a line of dialogue where Obi-Wan Kenobi said, "What if it is true and people are dying?" That line's never been more relevant than in the current crisis.
Okay, Darth Maul.
Now here we have Darth Maul and the mysterious Darth Sidious.
I haven't seen this guy since the very opening minutes of the film. I've not seen this.
We saw him at the beginning
for so long.
But now we're seeing him in the flesh. He's no longer a hologram.
No, he's no longer
and he's talking to Darth Maul. Now look at all this dust. And Jar Jar's licking the bowl. That's funny.
I always forget how short that scene is with Darth Maul. It's very, very short.
I wanted it to be short. I wanted it to be like a Quibi.
It's going to say. It's very much like the original.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually filmed it. I had a take of it that was filmed with a vertical aspect ratio. I said, I want this scene to be a Quibi. And everyone said, what? And I said, you guys aren't going to understand this for decades. I want this scene to be a Quibi. A Quibi. I said, vertical, you show it on your phone. They were like, on our telephones? Yeah. I said, it's hard being a visionary. So I said, let's just film it widescreen. We'll do it the same as everybody.
Because in that day, if you hold a phone vertical, it makes sense. But then if you hold the phone horizontal, people can't hear you. The mouthpiece is all the way over here, You
can't do it. You couldn't, at the time we were making this, you couldn't have made a Quibi because, first of all, you couldn't get video on your telephone.
No.
And if you did, it'd be the wrong aspect ratio.
Yes. I also think, that's another thing that people don't realize. We'll get to it, but Attack of the Clones.
They don't realize.
Was kind of the original Quibi because it was shot in 1080p. 1080p.
That was the best we could do.
Yeah.
At the time, the goal was to make the IMAX of Real Player.
Yes.
Like a movie that would be the equivalent of IMAX on a Real Player.
And you succeeded well.
We did it.
Now, George.
But I can't wait. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
No, what were you going to say?
I was going to say we're talking about the little Quibi with Darth Maul that we just saw, and people don't realize Darth Maul in the shooting script had the most dialogue of anyone. His experience working on this film was rough because, this was really his first film, and it was kind of like Adrian Brody in Thin Red Line, where he read the script. He was like, I'm the lead. Like, I'm very much the narrative crux. I'm the hero of the picture. He called up his parents, and then, they shoot. The production lasts a long time, long post-production, goes to the premiere, expects that he's going to be in the whole thing, and he sees the movie, and he's got these Quibis. He's barely got any dialogue. And that's just the nature of how a story evolves.
Yeah, the story is king. It's all about the story. And, you shoot what you need to, but then when you have to edit it, you have to be merciless. That's why there is not a wasted frame in this film.
Absolutely not.
There is not one. I've gone through this movie frame by frame.
Yeah.
To see if even one frame is wasted.
Doesn't exist.
You can't find one. Every frame of this film is essential to the telling of the story.
Absolutely.
And it's the story. It's the story that counts.
Yes.
If you're not telling the story, what are you telling?
Nothing. I'll tell you, George.
You're telling nothing.
If you're not telling the story, you're telling on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're telling on yourself.
Right. Yeah. That's right. Patrick, are there any questions? Do people have questions? How many people do we have now, Patrick?
Let's see. We have 311 people watching. Let me find some questions.
We are losing people.
At
a rate.
George.
Yes.
Andy T. Germ wants to know, is there an example of a frame you had removed that was inessential?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, absolutely.
So many.
I removed many frames that made it, because we accidentally included some frames in A New Hope in 4 that made it look like Han was shooting. And I said, those shooting frames we don't need them.
No.
Take out any frame that makes it look like he's shooting first. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that at noon tomorrow.
Now, George, Ethan Runt wants to know, is Darth Maul's lightsaber spinning a nod to multiple aspect ratios?
Like Quibi.
Yeah. Good catch. I want to ask Andy T. Germ, does the T stand for the? Are you a germ?
Ooh, not in this climate.
Wash your hands.
Mary very well be. This isn't really a question, more of a comment. She says, Darth Maul sounds like the Tick.
I don't.
That's interesting.
I assume it's the Amazon show that was on a few years ago.
No, there's only one.
Right, he was.
It's Patrick Warburton. I think it was foolish for them to try to make another one. And if I ever went to a comic convention where the cast of the Amazon Tick was there, I would definitely go up to their faces and say, The only one that I like is the Patrick Warburton one. I would confidently say that to their faces, and I think that would be a cool and nice thing to do.
The fans can always be counted on to do something really cool and nice.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, George? I was on one.
What were you saying? What were you saying, Patrick?
I wasn't saying anything.
You can always count on a certain contingent of fans to do very cool and nice things, like especially if they didn't like something.
Yes.
That's one of the things that it's been a real pleasure for me over the decades. Is it's always nice when someone likes, one of your movies or two of your movies or three of your movies, and then if you make a fourth one and they don't like it as much, I really want to hear that. I want people to. You should always, if you like some of the things someone does and then you don't like the other things as much, I always think it's very important that people know about it. It's not enough to feel it. You have to tell as many people as you can that you were unhappy with some of the things that an artist did for you.
You got to tell them directly, too. You got to yell at them.
Oh, that's very nice. If you can tell them directly, how nice is that? Especially if they made films that you loved and that were very entertaining to you. What could be better than...
with joy through their past work, then they owe you. They owe you to keep doing that to your specific preferences for the rest of their natural life. And if they make something that someone else likes a little bit more than you like it, it's wrong.
Right. I especially like it. My favorite thing is when I make a film for children. And I like it when those children grow up into, let's face it, men.
Yeah.
And then those men don't like the most recent children's films that you've made.
Absolutely.
I like it when I hope that those people would choose to express it in the most hyperbolic, negative form possible.
What other way?
It's what a great thank you to an artist who made you happy.
Hey, Watto?
How better could you, yes?
Oh, I have a question from Pops_McGee_SA.
Okay.
He wants to know, could Vin Diesel's car win a pod race?
Could it win?
Oh, yeah. It could run it. I don't know if it could win. It's hard. It's hard to win a pod race.
It's tough. I mean, he'd be able to go right underneath all of those pods.
Well,
and I think Sabola would think that he had him, but he never.
Hold on, Jar Jar's about to get zapped. Jar Jar's about to get zapped.
Moi zaps.
There,
yelping and blubbering is what the subtitles say, and then he says, "My tongue is fat."
Now, George, I don't know if you remember that. That is the only practical shot of Jar Jar in the entire film. When you see his hand reach down. Oh, this is the other one. These insert shots of the hand with the pod, the engines. Those are actually an actor on set wearing a costume, which is how this film was shot. And then you said, this is garbage, CGI. Wipe this all out, make it digital.
Right.
George, Leadlight wants to know, can George please explain this Immaculate Conception shimmy business?
Well, you've heard of midi-chlorians, right?
I'll answer for her, yes.
And you've heard of the wills, right?
Yeah.
And you've heard of the Force.
Yes.
And you understand that the Force is a thing that connects us all.
Yeah.
And you understand how droids can have feelings.
I mean, I don't know that she does. I'm assuming the answer is yes, though.
I just want to make sure that all of these concepts are understood.
Hey, wait, let's watch this scene. Let's watch this scene.
Yeah. It's just a thing that. Here's the thing. It happened. Yes. Now, I could explain it, but wouldn't that take some of the magic away? I mean, a lot of this. Look, he's checking his blood for infections. Yeah, I mean, an immaculate conception. She found herself pregnant, and she didn't know why, and it wasn't because of hanky panky. We've ruled that out.
And let's also say the conception was immaculate. I mean, it was a perfect. We're talking about a perfectly fertilized.
Immaculate. Yes.
Immaculate.
Immaculate.
George, plausible deniability wants to know if there's any birth control a person can use to avoid midi-chlorian conception.
I wish.
You can use.
I'd be paying a lot less alimony. I'll tell you that, because people come to me and they go, Watto, it's yours. And I go, no, it's not. It's immaculate conception. It's a midichlorian. It's got in your system. And they go, you can't prove it.
Yeah. I mean, you can use the Force, but it's not 100%. Like, you can use the Force, but that's basically the rhythm method. It's not. You can't count on it.
Yes, absolutely.
Watto, Max Rebo 84 wants to know, Watto, have you ever tried pod racing?
No, I keep my hands clean with that. Why would I go out there? I fund it. I stake the money on it. I bet on it. I don't need to do that. It's a hassle. Watto's an old man now. You know, he's an old man. He's 31. He doesn't feel the need to get out there and chase the fast thrills. You know.
Oh boy.
Here I am. This is a big scene. This is the scene, I mean, where I felt like I evolved as an actor, because this was the most emotionally challenging scene I had to do, the chance cube scene, you know? And I got a little walking stick in this scene, which I think it only appears at this one moment. I was trying something different. You know, a lot of actors, they're looking for some sort of like ticks that they can grab onto, and so they'll go, oh, I'll do it with a limp.
Yeah.
And I didn't think
it's
about
a little bit of business.
I was flying.
Yeah. It's a flying stick, basically. It's similar to a walking stick, but of no real utility.
Right. So
it's just on air. It's a burden.
Right. I was very insistent on it. After this scene, you said, Watto, I don't really think it plays. Let's lose the stick.
I said, let's do a take without it. Yeah. And honestly, the better take was, unfortunately, I would have digitally erased the walking stick.
Yes.
But I felt it did bring. I think it makes the scene. People always talk about the scene with the walking stick.
People always.
And it was. It was. We never made a toy just of Watto's walking stick, and that's a regret I have, because I feel like it would have really sold.
And like a big missed opportunity on Disney's part. It's very weird that Galaxy's Edge. I mean, they talk about how attendance was disappointing the first 6 months or so. Sell the stick, baby. Oh, look at that chance keep. Look at that roll. Unbelievable.
Hey, George, can I thank some of the GoFundMe contributors?
Oh, yes,
please.
Absolutely.
We've had there's been a lot of anonymous ones, but we've had a lot come in, which has been great.
How many are we looking
at? The anonymous ones were all me.
Yes,
okay.
Unless they were a smaller amount, and then they were me.
Great. So the $200 one is from George. The $50 one is from Watto, and I assume the $30 one is probably also from Watto.
Yes.
No, we went halvesies. We went halvesies on that.
Okay. Max Redmond, thank you.
Thank you.
Very close.
Hey, wait. Spell the name out.
MAX space REDMOND.
Spell that last name again.
Redmond, REDMOND.
Max Redmond. I was going to try to think if there was something fun we could do with the names of the people who donated.
This is your time.
I think Max Redmond sounds like a pod racer, and I think his full name is Maximum.
Maximum Redmond. It's a thing that pod racers exclaim when they're about to win the race, like, I'm going Maximum Redmond!
That's right.
Yep.
It was the name of a legendary pod racer. He died in a pod race, and now it's something that people exclaim right before they are about to die in a pod race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, this is great. Do you want to make everyone's name into what their Star Wars character is canonically?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, that will kill some time.
Yep. That's why I'm doing it. Curtis Hilgenberg, HILGENBERG.
I would get rid of the Curtis part. I get rid of the Curtis part, and I'd make. Was it Hildenberg?
Hilgenberg, HILG.
Hilgenberg. Yeah, I would change. I would make Hill as HIL.
Mm-hmm.
Can we type it out on the screen? We had maximum redness on the screen. There. Okay, there's a question mark, as if the person is not sure whether they spelled it correctly.
That's close.
Yeah.
No, I need it precise. I need it precise.
Yeah. Let's take another pass at
I
that.
just sent it to them.
Okay. I'd get rid of the Curtis, and I'd make Hill the first name. Maybe. I need to see the accurate spelling in order to do this correctly.
Yeah, I sent it to them. I'm waiting for them to put it up.
All right.
What if his first name, George? What if we flip the two, so his name is Hurtis Kildenberg, and then we can shorten it to Hurt Kildenberg. You know what I'm saying? But maybe it's Kilgenberg with a K. He's a bad guy. Hurt Kilgenberg.
Hurt Kilgenberg, and I take the E in Gen and make it a Y.
Yes.
So we'll Hurt Kilgenberg.
Right. So it's HURTKILLGYN, and then what can we do with Berg?
Blurg. BLURGG.
Put an L in. Put an L in.
Okay, so it's Hurt Kilgin Blurg.
And this is the name of a Sith Lord.
Yes. But he was he was a little bit more bureaucratic than a lot of the previous Sith Lords.
Yeah,
there are infrastructural issues here.
Yeah, let's say that he wasn't a proper Sith. He didn't have a Darth in front of his name. But let's say he was the money man for the Sith, like he's an accountant,
right?
For the Sith.
Yes, absolutely.
He's the guy who he was a numbers guy.
He was the.
Can we see that spelling out?
Yes. Hurt.
Yeah, kind of a
Jin Blurg.
We're waiting for this. This is taking longer to render than Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
I just sent them the new name. It should be going in right now.
I mean, no rush. Right. We have 29 hours to film.
I do like it when things go fast, though. That's my favorite.
Hey,
do we have another donation name?
Look at Jabba.
Oh, Jabba the Hutt.
So beautifully digital.
Looking better than ever.
Never looked
Kilgenberg. That's right. And he's the money man who works for the Sith Lords.
Yes. And this is how he talks. He sounds like this. He's like, "Oi, Gavalt, what have you been spending all this money on, boys?"
Right. And then they choke him, and he likes it.
He likes it.
He's that's like, one of the things.
How did you know?
Yeah. And then the Sith will like choke him out, but he likes it.
Yeah, he's like, and my uncle likes. Like a lot of people say daddy likes, and Hart says uncle likes. He goes, uncle likes.
Hey, guys, just to break it up really quick, Spawn Ranch Doritos wants to know, Watto, when you and Warwick Davis were in the box together, what did you guys talk about?
So much. I mean, it's one of the things I like most about being on a set. And obviously, I've become a little more of a businessman in recent years, but the thing that's great is getting to sit down with a real character actor like that and just go like, Warwick, like, tell me, just how blasted was Val Kilmer on a daily basis during Willow? Because George does not like to gossip. So Warwick...
I don't spill tea. I don't spill tea.
You don't spill tea. Warwick, let's just put it this way. I don't expect him to ever get hired at the Lipton factory. Because that man has a propensity to spill tea, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, we have another name. This one's tough. Daniel Miller.
Easy.
All right.
Daniel Miller. I need to see it spelled out, but right off the bat,
I need to see it. Okay,
I sent it to the team.
Okay.
Should we acknowledge our team, our tech team?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
In LA, we have Bryson Wallace, who's manning the booth right now.
Bryson Wallace.
The great Bryson Wallace, along with, in New York, the great Dave Shareko, Jersey Dave Shareko.
Okay. Here's Dave Shareko, Jersey Dave.
Sorry, it's giving me a minute to type these things out. Doing my best.
That's okay.
Bosser. Okay, Dave, here's my first pitch, okay? let's remove this space between Daniel and Miller, but then add a space between the I and the E in Daniel. Do you see what I'm saying here?
It's not
Danny?
bad.
It's
Danny
not bad,
Miller.
right? So I'm saying Danny E. Miller.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it.
And now let's maybe add another space.
And then after Dan, why don't you guys talk about the podcast for the pod race for a little bit too?
Sure, but here are the two spaces. I think the name is DANI space ELMIL space LER.
Okay, I sent it to him.
Now, George, I don't know if you would agree with this, but to me, when I look at the screen right now, what I think is, now this is pod racing.
Now this is pod racing.
Now this
pod
right
race,
now, what we're seeing is pod racing.
When I see this, there's some sand people up to mischief. The sand people are up to mischief, and obviously
they're up to no good. They're starting to make trouble in the neighborhood.
I'm going to say they're irredeemable. How about that? Yes, it looks good. Denny Elmiller.
Okay, so now we just need to come up with the backstory, but I think the name is perfect.
I would say one of those people who's in the meetings on Naboo in the circle, people in the fancy robes.
It was like, why?
Part of the council.
I agree. He's one of those.
Yes. Yes, a person who goes along.
Right.
With what the majority of the council wants.
He's an FOS, a friend of Sayo.
He's a friend of Sayo, and he's played by an actor who is just a legend of the British stage. You know, has been treading the boards for nigh on 60 years. Has never gotten that big on camera job. Is always just eking out a living paycheck to paycheck, doing solid character roles in straight plays. And then they tell him, his agent goes, "Oh my God, you got cast in a Star Wars movie. It's a speaking role." And he's like, "Oh my God, finally, this is going to be the moneymaker, residuals forever." And then, of course, he ends up making less off of that than he did in most plays. George is a very smart businessman in that way.
People have done quite well acting in Star Wars movies.
A couple.
No, plenty of people.
I'm just saying, I made more money off of doing George Lucas talk show than I did being in Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones. And I'm not trying to cancel you here, George. I'm just saying I respect it. That's why I got into business with you.
Can I say, in all honesty, watching this pod race right now, I could really go for some Taco Bell or some KFC or some Pizza Hut or Pepsi. I wish right now I could go. Maybe I might see if I can go on Instacart.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was thinking, can I Postmate some Taco Bell? Here's a thing I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm going to do a little merchandise spotlight throughout the 3 hours to keep us awake. Mm-hmm. I have a box of Watto merchandise here, memorabilia from the golden days. Look at this.
Very exciting.
Look at this right here, George.
Ooh.
It's a Watto Pepsi can.
Yeah, I've got a box of those cans somewhere in the bowels of UCB Hell's Kitchen, unless they've been moved over to the abandoned training center.
Yeah, probably.
Got a whole box of those cans. We tried giving them away at shows, and no one wanted them.
They're probably safely preserved next to 5 full boxes of Freak Dance DVDs. But can I read you what it says on the back of this Pepsi can?
Mm-hmm.
Watto. That's me. A pudgy blue Toydarian. He runs a junk shop and loves to bet on the pod racers. But some days, he is too shrewd for his own good. And that's a Watto.
That's Watto. I wrote that character description for the Pepsi can.
It's good.
They were going to farm it out to someone else. I said, no, let me write the cans. I remember I got down. I wrote it out longhand. Then I had someone type it up. I said, let me write the Pepsi can copy. I want to make sure that these characters are not misrepresented, because the world is getting ready to meet these characters. These are the new generation of Star Wars characters. And some people are going to learn about them for the first time on an aluminum can of Pepsi. They're going to take a drink, and then they see some writing on the side. And before they know it, They're engrossed in a story on the outside of a container for a beverage, a carbonated beverage. Stories can be told everywhere. You can tell a story on an aluminum can. That's something that we, right now a lot has been taken from us. We a lot of what we consider society is on hold, maybe indefinitely, maybe for years.
Who knows?
But we are surrounded by stories. Now, I want to take a moment and I want to talk. This is something that for people who, if there is anyone watching who was a regular audience member at the George Lucas Talk Show, and maybe you were going to attend our Star Wars Day show, which would have been last Friday. It was scheduled for last Friday, and now it will never happen. The Star Wars Day 2020 live celebration will not happen in person. This is it. But I had already earmarked a few prizes to give away.
Wow.
And now I want to show you what people are missing that they were going to get.
Okay.
They were going to get this Queen Amidala wristwatch in original packaging.
That is.
I mean, this is a luxury item.
Yeah.
We have time for me to describe the watch, Patrick?
Yes, you
Patrick?
do. Go ahead.
We have time?
Yeah.
How much time do we have left? Do we have time for the watch description?
Yeah, I think you could do it.
Okay.
Now, this watch was manufactured in China, the same place where COVID-19 came from. But it was actually manufactured by Hope Industries. Now, look how appropriate that is.
Wow,
Hope.
A New Hope.
A New Hope.
Rebellions are built on Hope.
And here are the watch features.
Actually, I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt. Producer Patrick makes a good point. I've heard of a rebellion built on hope.
Yeah, rebellions are built on hope. That's what I've heard too.
But a watch built by hope? Now I've heard everything.
George, why did you never name any characters Hope?
Hope?
Yeah.
I was going to in the 7, 8, 9.
It's a shame.
I had two characters. One was going to be named Hope. Actually, 3 characters. I misspoke. 3 characters. One would be named Hope. Another one would be named Nope. He was very negative. And another one would be named Dope.
Cool.
And he was a spice dealer, but also an idiot.
So double.
He was a real goofball, trying to sell spice, but also a real goofball. You know.
Can I say it is a very good sign that we are up to the most thrilling sequence in this entire film, and we are spending our time reading the back of the packaging for watch.
I'll say this.
I'm reading the front of the package.
I stand corrected.
We haven't even got to the back of the packaging. The back of the packaging will be soon.
I stand corrected, my friend.
I'll say this, guys. We're coming up soon on our first guest. Not right now, but in a few minutes. So I think that might help you get back into the movie a little bit.
And I have no idea who it could be.
All right. People can watch these movies anytime. We don't just have to talk about the movie.
No, I agree.
Here's the 5 features of the. No, there's 4 features. Sorry, 4 features, but one of the features includes 5 things.
Okay.
So really, that's like 8 features. So a 5-function LCD timepiece. So that's digital. A flip top lid. So it's a digital watch, which I already like that. I have no time for an analog watch. If I want to know, that's why I like that time clock that's counting down. It's all digital. I don't want a practical watch. Dust can get in the gears. Small little bits of grit can cause it to stop functioning. But a digital watch will keep perfect time for a millennium.
Yeah. So
the 5-function LCD timepiece, and then a flip top lid. That's what you see on the top. You see that Amidala? That's a flip top lid. It flips. An adjustable strap, because everyone's wrist is different.
It's very inclusive. It's very inclusive, this watch.
And this is a 7-hole. This is a 7-hole strap. So you have 7 options for adjustability of the strap.
What more could you want? 7 holes in this economy? 7?
Hold on. Hold on.
Okay, George has gone sideways. He's gone into
Hold on.
turnstile mode.
George,
much
what are
like
you doing?
Well, no, every now and then my device will do that. And then, as if that's not enough, a 1-year warranty.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. I didn't hear
A
you.
1-year warranty.
Whoa! What? 1 year.
Everyone, I encourage everyone to go to hopeindustries.net, the website of the Queen Amidala watch. And if it still exists, send them an email. Say, how do I get me one of those Queen Amidala watches with the warranty?
I'm going to pull it up here in a new tab.
Do you want to see, because this is the real heartbreaker, what I was going to give away at the Star Wars Day live show.
Yes, please.
The watch would have been nice, and anyone who would have gotten that watch would have been delighted. But it pales in comparison to this particular Phantom Menace related treasure that I was prepared to give away to an audience member, and now it will just remain here with me.
Okay. Wow. And I got to say, George, I actually own one of these already.
I expect no less.
I
This
own
is a Jedi braid.
It's beautiful.
You can be like a little Padawan.
It's to remind me of little Annie, my little Annie.
My little Annie. Oh, he could have been so good.
This is the saddest scene right here. This is,
Even if you succeed, it's a hard life. That's what Qui-Gon Jinn just said. Even if you succeed, it's a hard life.
Yes.
Those are words that are still relevant in this current crisis.
Mhm.
Because even successful people are going through something right now.
Oh, Jeff
We're
is
all in it.
miserable.
We're in it together. We're in it together.
Alone together.
Yeah.
Now, alone together, George, that is a thing you've said to many of your ex-romantic partners, right? When they have asked you if you could go out on a date with them, you've gone, why can't we be alone together?
Right. Right.
Why do we have to go out in public, sit together at a table? Let's be alone together. You
Stay alone together.
I sit in another room.
Right. There's no shame in parallel play.
No, I love a little parallel play.
I do think it's the first sign of the evil that lurks within young Annie.
Spoiler.
Is it when?
Spoilers. Some people might be watching this for the first time.
Yeah. Hey, here's what I think about your spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
This little boy you watch right now, he's going to be. This is him.
No.
This is him. This is a little boy.
Impossible! C'est impossible! No! No! 28.5 hours to go.
Oh, just wait till you get to that. But the first sign that there's something amiss with young Annie is when he's about to leave his mother.
Mm-hmm.
His mother. He's a little boy. He's about to leave his mother. What does he say?
His
mother. And what word does he choose to say when Qui-Gon Jinn says, "Go, time to pack your things"? He says,
Yippee.
"Yippee,
Yippee.
yippee."
He says,
Hey, George.
He says, yeah.
I think we have a guest.
he says yippee.
This is yippee.
We're going to ask our guest what they think about yippee.
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 He says yippee.
He says yippee.
He says yippee.
We're going to ask our guest. Patrick, loop the guest in now when we're talking
Loop the
about
guest in now.
Okay. All right, guys.
Yippee.
Our first guest,
yippee.
you might know her as Ash on Pokemon.
What?
Been Ash for over a decade at this point.
What?
Very long time. She's a wonderful voice actress.
Yippee.
Yippee.
I'll just bring her in. Welcome, Sarah Natochenny.
Yippee. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Hang on. I'm being told there.
She's not here yet.
Oh, okay. Hang on one second.
She's not here
Oh,
yet.
great intro.
She's not here yet.
Well,
I'll
she'll
bring
be
her
here in
in.
a second.
Well, Patrick.
Nice introduction done, have you?
No. Am I?
That's what you. Oh. Sarah. Yippee. Sarah.
Sarah,
Uh,
yippee, right?
Yippee to you.
Yippee to you.
You tell me when I talk. I'm not sure. There's a lot of talk.
Oh, okay. Hang on one second.
He's not.
Do you have headphones?
what's
Oh,
happening?
yeah.
Nice
Sorry.
introduction done, have you?
No. Let me mute.
Are we on a delay?
Do you actually know what it is, Sarah? Close out of the stream that you're watching, and it should be fine.
And this is the fun thing about doing a 30-hour live stream is people get to see the troubleshooting happening in real time. We don't need to cut it out. It's 30 hours.
Well, we'll fix it. We'll do a special. We're going to do a special edition of the full 30 hours where we replace anything that went wrong.
Yes, it will be just
None of this went wrong.
no, nothing went
Everything is good. Everything's
Everything's
great.
good.
Nobody sees
Everything's
what
good.
happens.
okay. Yippee, Sarah.
Yippee to you, Watto. How are you?
Yippee to you. Oh,
That's what everyone says.
it's
Yeah,
a weird time.
you know. It's okay. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
Sarah, hold on a second, because I want to. Since we're taking our time to get the intro right, because we fumbled it
Yes.
initially. I think I want to bring you in with quoting the lyrics of holiday special Veterans Jefferson Starship,
Oh, great.
who will be singing later in the Star Wars Holiday Special. They famously said the words, "Sarah, Sarah, storms are brewing in your eyes. Sarah, Sarah, no time is a good time for goodbyes." And what could be a worse time for a goodbye than right now as we are just saying hello?
Hello.
Hello.
That was gorgeous.
It's a time for yippies.
That's a perfect intro.
That was
That
really
is
well
a
done.
perfect. That's a perfect intro. We nailed it.
Intro.
George,
Um,
you're a genius.
Sarah, welcome. Welcome to the Star Wars Day All Day Movie Marathon for charity to help the laid off UCB New York staff.
Yes.
Thank you for doing your part.
Thank you for having me.
Now, unfortunately, you've missed a great deal of the Phantom Menace. Do you need to be brought up to speed as to what has happened so far?
Have you
Yeah.
seen the picture?
I've seen the picture because I once worked on a documentary about the picture. I remember none of the picture. I remember what I cut. I remember those bits real good, but I don't remember much of anything else.
You worked on a
Tell us.
documentary.
What's the documentary?
A little short one for MSNBC about tourism in Tunisia.
Ooh.
It's down.
Which is
Spoiler.
it's down.
It's down. Yeah. People
But
used
not
to
because of
visit
us.
the site.
We were the reason for the spike,
Yes.
and now they've successfully flattened the curve of tourism in Tunisia. It's down to nothing.
It's down to really very much, I think, nothing. Yeah, people should go. It's beautiful.
Maybe not now.
I had a great time filming there. Do you remember that hotel we stayed in, George? It was unbelievable.
Oh, what a nice place. Sarah, what do you remember about the Phantom Menace? I'm curious what things have stuck with you about this film. Like if you had to tell someone, if you had to sell to me, this will be fun.
Okay.
Give me your elevator pitch for the Phantom Menace. If it was, let's pretend it was your idea for a movie.
Okay.
And you wanted me to make it.
You're trying to close a deal. You're trying to make a
Hard to
sale.
trying to
close the
close-
deal.
Yeah, pitch the Phantom Menace to me based on anything you remember from the Phantom Menace. It can be
You wanna
even
walk out
one
of
detail.
That elevator with the contract.
Excellent.
All
All
right.
right. So real quick.
I'll give you as much time as you need to prepare. We have a lot of
1
time.
minute. Okay, we're good. Have you been to Palm Springs? Guy says, yes, of course you have. Okay, great. Tunisia, very similar, lots of sand, very brown. You're going to love it. We're going to set a movie there with a lot of alien-looking folk, but you've never seen these kind of aliens before. They're going to fight each other. And we're going to get Natalie Portman, the most beautiful young woman on the planet, to be the queen. Are we good?
You just made yourself a movie deal.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I don't know what it's about.
I'm really seeing how much that MSNBC story affected you because everything's through the Tunisia prism for you. That's very much your entry point into this.
Yes, very much. Very much. I know nothing. Yeah, it's really bad. It's great. I think it's great. They say it's great. People love your films.
Thank you. But do you remember enjoying Phantom Menace, or was it not for you? Because it's not for everybody. It's a children's film.
It's not for everybody. I didn't grow up on Star Wars, so I have a severe gap.
What'd you grow up on? What did you like when you were growing up?
Not very much. They forced me to read books like The Invisible Man and George Orwell, which is coming in. It's coming in handy now.
They forced you.
They forced me to read.
The Force is what Star Wars is about. The Force is what Star Wars is about. So you thought you didn't grow up on Star Wars, but you really did.
Very much so.
Because they forced you to do other things.
And here's another way that you grew up on Star Wars. Books, page turners, they are not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a Yoda line. We'll get there in like 23 hours.
Yes, I know Yoda. He speaks a little backwards.
He does a little bit of the flip.
I do love Yoda. I do love.
Yeah.
Great
Yoda,
guy.
love, I do.
Great guy.
Ooh,
he's like Tom Hanks.
good.
Like he is exactly who you want him to be off screen.
Oh yeah.
Like I built up this whole idea in my head. Like, what's he going to be like? He's so generous. He remembers your name. He takes the time to look you in the eyes and shake your hands. I mean, maybe not now, because also much like Tom Hanks, Yoda got full blown COVID. He did get the COVID.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He was susceptible. He's very old.
Is he well? Is he okay?
He's making a good recovery. I mean, you ask if he's well. Yes, he's very well.
I mean, let's be honest, he's a ghost.
Right.
Oh.
But that's the thing. We understand so little about this virus.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't know that ghosts can't get it.
Apparently they can. That's what we're learning.
Apparently they can.
They can, yeah.
People are saying, some of these studies you read, people are saying that the ghosts can get it.
Yeah.
And that you can get it from a ghost. A ghost might have it and be asymptomatic. And the ghost will give you the virus. You can get the virus from a ghost.
And you're going to look into that, right? You're going to look into that about the ghost getting the COVID, because I think we both thought that was very interesting, and you're going to look into that. Okay.
It's good to have a minion.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Dr. Fauci.
Yes. The Fauci awakens.
Yes.
Oh,
I
I like that. Sarah, I like that spoof. I like what you just did. That was a good spoof.
George loves jokes.
The Fauci Menace. I got more.
The Fauci Menace. The Fauci Menace.
The Fauci Menace. Ooh,
he's going to hate this when he wakes up.
The Pokemoness.
Oh.
Pokemoness.
Poke.
Wow.
Wow. What do you think that now? Pokemon and Star Wars are universes that have not crossed over.
No.
Star Wars has crossed over with the Muppets. We've crossed over with M&Ms. But we've never crossed over with Pokemon.
Should.
I'll tell you, I like that Pokemon Go. That sounds like they're...
It's good.
I like that.
Fast.
That's what I like. It's fast stuff.
Fast, yeah.
You know who would hate is Snorlax.
I think Snorlax has a good place in Star Wars universe, no?
Well, no, I mean, he would have his role, but George wouldn't like him because it takes a lot to get that guy going. George
is very sleepy.
Things to move fast.
Yeah.
I like things that go fast.
That's why he The Force Awakens, he was like, at least they got the title right. They're waking up. They're getting the day started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real go-getter.
Yeah.
It's important.
Now, are you, Sarah, are you queued up with the movie, or are you, okay, so you see the Jedi Council here.
I do, yes, yes.
This is like Pokemon territory, because this is a crazy bunch of guys.
They all got fun heads.
And
one guy's got a cockroach head. One guy, the head is long. One guy's got horns. One guy, the head is kind of normal, but the neck is out of this world.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So long. Jealous. right here.
I can't even, I created this and I can't be 100% certain that a couple of these aren't Pokemons.
I can't believe it.
I'm pretty sure they are. Do you find that
There's
you
gotta
were
be at least-
inspired by Pokemon at any point in your career?
Wow.
I probably. I think I probably helped inspire some Pokemon things, and it probably it's a circle. It probably feeds back because I'm constantly absorbing influences from Kurosawa onto more recent sources of culture.
Charizard. You're very influenced by Charizard. You talk about his work a lot.
Mm-hmm.
George, can I just spotlight for a moment? It's 1:42 a.m., which means everyone should have gotten their tweets out at Disney Plus. May Detours be with you.
Yes, we want people to tweet at Disney Plus to release the 39 episodes that I produced independently before selling Star Wars to Disney. And Detours is a hilarious animated series, entirely independently produced by me. Fully animated with beautiful 3D CG animation. And Disney, by all accounts, has no plans to ever release any of it.
Guys,
Can I
just hop for there have been a lot of tweets with hashtag May Detours be with you.
That's good.
I just want you to know that.
But cool. I appreciate that. Sarah, can you imagine this? Because you work in animation, you are a voiceover artiste. 39 episodes, fully produced, finished.
Fully produced.
George says to Disney, hey, if you're going to steal Star Wars from me and only pay me a couple lousy $1 billion, at least take this cartoon show, release it to the world. Yeah. Disney has been sitting on this for what now, 6-7 years? It's done. Voices recorded, animated, finished, sound mixed. It's done, and they won't release it. Could you imagine the frustration?
I would be sick to my stomach. I would quit voice acting if that happened to me.
You'd never do it.
I'd never do it.
And here's the thing.
It's demoralizing.
Yes.
And here's the thing. A few months ago, I was resigned that okay, that's their choice. If they never release this series, then it's up to them. But the world has changed. And for any corporation to have 39 episodes of new content fully produced and ready to go, while people are trapped in their homes, I actually, in the next hour, I want some of the tweets to get more desperate. I want people to say, I'm trapped in my home. Please release all 39 episodes of Detours, because people would be so happy to get this. They can't go anywhere. People, if they don't get these 39 episodes of Detours, they're going to go outside and go to a concert. They're going to go outside and get within 3 feet of their neighbors. And they're going to contract a deadly virus.
Jones Beach. They need to stay indoors and watch Detours.
Yes.
I'm not just saying that Disney needs to release Detours for my sake. I'm doing fine. I have my museum. I have a full life. I don't need this. I'm done with it. But you could be saving lives.
Yes.
This could be for the first time. For the first time in the history of Star Wars, we could really be saving lives.
Absolutely. I see.
And all they have to do is click one button to release one. It's a single button. All they have to do is click one button to release all 39 episodes on Disney Plus.
I see people on Twitter and they're saying, "Oh, I ran out of Netflix. I finished Netflix. What now?" You know? And it's not a joke. People seriously have watched the entire Netflix catalog. They need 39 episodes. They've watched all.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Very sad.
When you get to the end of Netflix,
everyone's getting
and you get to the end of Netflix, and you have nothing to watch. And Disney, they could make it happen.
They could. It's very sad.
Oh, it's so sad.
It reminds me of Go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, it reminds me of the end of Truman Show when he winds up on his boat and he hits that wall. That's how the world is feeling right now when we run out of things to watch on Netflix.
It reminds me of the end of Tucker, The Man in His Dream, executive produced by me, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, my mentor, my friend Francis. He makes a perfect car, and they won't release it because the big automakers they think it's too good. It's too good a car.
Some things are too good.
And they never
Fear
gave
leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. That was just the line that was said. That's legitimately the best dialogue in this movie. That is great Star Wars dialogue.
Some great stuff. Yes, I'm seeing it now. We have so much of that going around, don't we?
Oh.
Anakin was kind of like the original sort of like 8chan kid. You know, that's what Yoda's saying here is he's like, you got a lot of weird, misplaced anger for a white kid. And he's like, I'm so easy. I'm an orphan. Like, you know, well, not yet, but, you know, single parent. Well, you know, as far as he knows.
And then Jar Jar Binks just said, used to think Gungan's going to be a dying. Used to think people are going to be dying. Gungans too? Tusa?
That's why you know liking us, Misa thinks. That's what he said.
Where are all of these names from? What's your inspiration for Wissa, Gungan?
Great question.
Great question. These stories happened a long time ago, so people talked. What I always thought was, because it was a long time ago, people talk very differently. And if you add in, here's the key to Star Wars. These stories, if you think about how it's a different era, and think about how different things were even 20 years ago. Now go even further back in time. And then you further complicate it by adding in a factor of distance. Not only are these stories that happened a long time ago, they also happened incredibly far away. So the idea that the names would be similar, there will be some names that are similar. Luke, that's one name. It's a biblical name, but it actually is much older than that because it happened. People were naming their kids Luke back on Tatooine. So my thinking was, well, if the names are different, let's make them fun. Let's make them a little bit interesting. And so sometimes you just take a word and you think, give me any word at all.
Schlep.
All right, let's move those letters around a little bit. And let's put the P in the front. And let's put the sh at the end. But keep that L near the front. Plesh. And maybe Plesh is the name of let's say he's a moon bandit.
Love that.
Plesh Moon Bandit. Now you got yourself a Star Wars name.
Genius.
Now,
what a process.
You can do that with any word. Baked beans. You could take the something as simple as baked beans.
Baked beans.
And beans would be the first name, but let's add the letter A at the end of it. So the first name would be Binsa. Binsa.
Beckett.
Beckett.
George,
Binsa Beckett.
George, I have a great idea here because I see Sarah is such an artiste.
Yes.
She's such a natural performer that as you are brainstorming the name of a character, I can see Sarah starting to embody it. So I think what we need to do here is come up with a Star Wars character, develop a character, and then let Sarah develop the voice.
Oh, yes. This is a fun game.
Binsa Beckett.
Binsa Beckett.
And let's say this character is very noble, of noble birth,
of course,
but part of a noble lineage that has been brought low by hard times and changes in the social structure of her home planet. So of noble bearing, but of brought low to common means, and now maybe works in the spice
market
annex.
Lady now?
A spice annex.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Outlet. A spice outlet.
Spice
like an outlet mall.
No, it's even better.
Outlet.
No.
Filene's basement of spice.
No.
Yeah, Spice Lean's basement.
Oh, what kind of wrath do you impose on me?
Yes, and Beansta has a catchphrase. I just want. So Beansta will say things like, "I just want to be taken care of." That's Beansta's catchphrase.
Yes. I would just want to be taken care of.
Perfect. That's a perfect Star Wars character.
Thank you.
Oh, can you imagine a toy? You pull the string, or you hold up the chip to it, the chip reader.
Yeah.
I want to hear that catchphrase again.
I just want to be taken care of.
That's a pro. You it's here differently, you know.
A top seller at Toys R Us. I'm very excited.
Cool. People who are watching this who have any kind of we're going to do one more line reading. If people out there are able to capture a little bit of audio and then make this into an animated clip,
Yes.
Let's debut this as a new Star Wars character. And we can get this online and trending.
Let's do more than one, George. This is a good, let's get the good artist rhythm back and forth. You write a line, Sarah reads it. You write a line, Sarah reads it. And then we pass it on to our viewers to animate it all together.
Oh my goodness. We're going to make some serious free art right now.
There we go.
All I want is a little bit of security.
As Beansta?
Yeah, this is like
Yes,
at the end, like there's a lot of shoplifting happening. So she's asking her manager, can you hire more security?
All I want is a little bit of security.
I felt
Perfect.
amazing.
Patrick, are any questions from the people watching?
Pikachu.
Let's ask. Hey guys, if you have any questions, put them in the chat, and I'll let them know.
We'll
Or if you want
some Beansta lines, if people have any good Beansta lines.
Yeah, sure.
lines for Beansta Bacon.
People are asking George if you're trying to go after Dune because you're talking a lot about spice and sand and everything.
No, I was talking about spice decades ago. Spice is a common thing. They have spice, and you can get spice on Instacart.
Really?
You have people deliver spice to your house.
Wow.
No, I like Dune. But I think any overlap between the Star Wars universe and the Dune universe is coincidental.
Great. Well,
Which
I'll let you
Pokemon
know
would best fit in the Star Wars universe? Now, first of all, Makeout Champ, you really that proficient kissing? What, you actually done it competitively? I don't know if I can answer.
Oh.
Yeah, I had no idea what you were saying for a second.
Yeah,
I didn't either, George.
I saw this question pop up.
Yeah, you
We're
got
all on the same app.
Yeah. Let's focus
Which
on
Pokemon would fit best
the
in the
username.
Star Wars universe?
Well,
Which Pokemon would fit best?
yeah. Is this a question for me, or do you want to take it, George? I don't want to step on your.
I'd like you to pitch me which one you think would fit into the Star Wars universe, because I'm curious.
Oh my goodness! Oh my! What an opportunity! I had no idea I was coming in here and start pitching ideas like this, man. It's really.
It's a great
Cool
opportunity. I mean, I can't officially put anything into the canon anymore, but I think the Legends are fair game. We could always toss them into the Legends.
Little fan fiction from those who
Yeah.
matter. I think Lapras would do very well alongside Princess Leia, because Lapras has a very strong energy, and Lapras can go on water and can carry Princess Leia. Very regal character, very efficient. Yeah, that's my idea. I think Pikachu would be with Anakin, a little baby Anakin with a little Pikachu. I think they could be a powerful power couple.
I think that in Attack of the Clones, for instance, I think that Obi-Wan Kenobi could have used the help of Detective Pikachu to help solve the mystery of what was going on with those clones. Probably would have saved a little bit of time.
Yeah. You mean it could have been a shorter movie? Or no?
Yeah, it could
No,
have been.
I find it
Could have been a short.
could have been a Quibi.
Could have
Could have been a Quibi.
Could have gotten it done in a Quibi.
Yeah.
It's a little-
Could have gotten that done in a Quibi.
Could have done it. Yeah, baby. Little baby movie. Cute.
Boss Nass is on the screen again, so full respect.
And this is also, I mean, this is a huge twist for people watching Phantom Menace for the first time. They cannot believe that Royal Handmaiden Padme, played by Natalie Portman, is one and the same with Queen Amidala, played by Natalie Portman. It's people's minds are blown right now.
It's a classic switcheroony.
A little.
We pulled the rug out from under them, and we're going to do it again.
Yes.
Star Wars has only begun to pull rugs out from underneath viewers. The people who are watching these movies for the first time have no idea how many rugs they are currently positioned upon or above, let alone how many of them are going to be pulled from beneath them.
Every
Like so many tablecloths in a common magician's routine involving a vase of flowers or several glasses filled with liquid.
Now, George, do you think that that's a good storytelling device or what? Because I feel like once you do it more than once, people start to catch on.
No, I don't think it's a good storytelling device. I think it's a great storytelling device. And here's why. You've heard of the phrase, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me.
Mm-hmm.
The second time, the audience feels shame. The first time you pull the rug out from the audience, they say, shame on you, filmmaker, you tricked me. But the second time, they say, we are the ones who should be ashamed for having been fooled yet again by you, a master storyteller.
Sarah,
And if you do it a third time or a
really
fourth
lucky that
time,
you're here for this, Sarah.
Say that again, Fish.
You're really lucky that you're here for this. This is
Genius.
you don't usually get this stuff for free.
It's so frank.
I'm George Lucas, and this is my masterclass.
It's behind no paywall. It's free to the people on planetscom.com.
It's free, and we buried it 2 hours into a 30-hour marathon.
We checked it. You got to watch the whole thing because the little droplets of the masterclass are spread around.
Now, neither character who's on screen right now is practical. It was Boss Nass and Jar Jar, both completely CGI.
I mean, this was such a short day on set. It was beautiful. You got the filming done. I mean, you didn't even have to show up to film.
No.
Did you
I could have
film
filmed
anything remotely? Yeah. Did you do anything over Zoom before it was cool? I know you're kind of a recluse.
I've done Zoomies.
You done some Zoomies?
Yeah. You know how sometimes they'll say that cats, like people's household pets, they get the Zoomies where they're running around. You've heard that?
Yeah, Pikachu just had some. So I kept looking.
I've been getting the Zoomies since I wrecked my car and almost died.
Really sorry that happened, man.
No, we were before
now I get
on. We were saying like George is actually jealous watching all these people getting to make things over Zoom, and we have to watch this movie where everyone had to show up at the same time on the same day. It's like, I mean, it's a Monday morning quarterbacking, but you wish we could have done it that way.
I don't know about you guys. I'm okay being stuck at home. I kind of prefer it. I'm rarely late anymore. I show up pretty much on time because, all you have to do is click a button, really. And there's really no pressure to put on pants or anything. That's kind of nice. You get to just do the mental work and be more creative rather than deciding what to wear every day.
I mean, look,
Watto, the technology.
I've been wearing this vest every day, no pants, for my entire life.
You look great.
Thank you.
Oh, here we are. The Nemoidians are back.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I just get lost in the storytelling.
That's so good. Can we get another Beansa line? I feel like we need some more Beansa material for the animators to be able to work with.
Right. Beansa baked.
Beansa baked. Beansa baked.
George, this is a little bit crass, but someone was asking if you're wearing pants.
Oh.
Wearing shorts.
It's not
okay.
Appropriate.
You want to see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Back up a little bit.
Back, yeah. Now dance.
Your
No,
chair's
the
in the
chair.
way.
The chairman.
Oh wow.
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 This is a
Not-
great look.
Not the color I expected.
Absolutely not. A little bit flashier than I usually see George.
I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah, we saw. We loved.
Yeah.
That
Very
was
comfortable.
great.
I'm wearing a little fanny pack.
I'm dressed in gray,
Nice.
much like my personality right now.
I have shorts on too.
We don't believe you.
Um, Here's another Star Wars character. His name is Chet Roulette.
Chet Roulette. Okay.
Chet Roulette, and he's a gambler,
Ooh.
and he's a sleaze bucket, and he's shaped like an actual bucket.
Is this for me,
And-
or is this an actual person?
No, this is good. No, because
No.
we have you
Chet-
here. If we were
We
going
have
to
you
make
here.
an interesting
Chet
scene,
Roulette's my
we
guy.
dialogue. There has to be.
Chet Roulette, he's
Okay.
always in debt. He's always in
Um,
debt. He owes a lot of money, and he's always in trouble.
Yeah.
And he
Okay.
said, and his catchphrase is, "I'm in it for the thrills, baby."
Hey, I'm in for the thrills, baby. Okay. Yeah.
I like that flourish. You put a little stank on it there. I like that.
You put a little spit on the ball.
He's
I
a
like
little, he's a bit
Yeah.
of a bucket, you know.
Yeah, he's shaped exactly like a bucket,
Exactly.
and people are always kicking him around. He's always getting beat up
Oh,
because
come
he's greedy and he's a silly liar. He wouldn't never hurt anybody, but he's very selfish. And I'm in it for the thrills, baby. And he also says, "Who wants to take a dip in the pool?"
Yeah, who wants to take a dip in the pool? You know you do,
And-
baby. You know you do. I'm a little bucket boy.
Yeah. Yeah. And he'll jump into the pool, but then he'll fill up with water because he's bucket shaped, including a fully hollow center and an opening at the top.
He's got no brains.
No brains. That's why he's always in trouble. Gambling is a fool's habit.
Yeah. So does he drown at the end of this animated short that we're making?
I don't think so. I don't think he's a character we'll ever kill off because he's a source of whimsy. He's there as a comic relief in a story that is filled with tragic undertones and overtones.
Then I might have made him a little too big.
No, no.
Big. No, he's just big
No.
enough.
In the Star Wars
No.
universe, that was a little too understated. That was essentially just giving like a Mike Lee performance right there.
Right. Sarah, if I have one note, and I'm not
Yes.
sure that I do, but if I have one note for your performance as either Beansa Baked or Chet Roulette, it would be faster and more intense.
Whoa.
George, what is that you are holding up?
Can you read it? Can you read
Yeah.
it?
But what is
Faster.
that object? It's a pin that says faster and more intense?
And more intense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, if you go on Instagram to @Nerd Matters on Instagram,
Yeah.
he makes little pins that are really nice. I
Can
like
we
to wear this
say
one that says
Can
faster
we
and more
say
intense.
quickly that nerd lives matter? Because I know
Absolutely.
this is a very debated subject, but nerd lives really do matter.
They do matter.
And people don't talk
Here,
about it.
here come the battle droids. They look like an invincible army. They
Yes.
are walking through the purple Gungan shield, and they are firing. This is a dark moment for the good guys because
Absolutely.
it looks like they have no chance against this army. Battle droids? Are you kidding me? How could they possibly defeat these relentless goofballs?
Hmm.
These, look at them shooting. They're shooting so much.
Yeah.
And it's hard to believe that our heroes have any chance. It feels as though, honestly, if you're watching this movie the first time, you think, what are all the rest of the movies just about the funerals of these heroes?
Yeah, I mean, you're thinking to yourself, they should have called it episode 1 and done.
Right.
What threads are we possibly going to follow after the L that these characters are about to take.
Yeah, episode 1 and done, and no more fun. That's what they should have called it, is what the audience will have said. And now Darth Maul shows up, and he has a lightsaber that is... And I don't remember if... I believe this came out prior to Darren Aronofsky's Requiem for a Dream.
Absolutely. Beat it by a year.
Yes. And I can't say for certain, but I am convinced that one of the key scenes in Requiem for a Dream is a direct ripoff of Darth Maul.
No.
When Jennifer Connelly from Labyrinth is in a room with a bunch of old men. Watto, do you know what I'm talking about?
Why is he sad? Is he
Yep,
crying?
I think I know where this is going. Please proceed, George.
It's known, and I don't mean to be crass. I don't mean to be crass, but I saw that scene and I thought, come on. You're really going to Darth Maul this?
Can you at least explain it for people who don't know what you're talking about?
It's only going to get worse the more he explains.
There's a scene that's commonly known as the ass-to-ass scene, where two women are degraded using something that can only be described, as far as I can tell, as something resembling Darth Maul's lightsaber. And I thought, of all the tributes to the Phantom Menace that I ever could have anticipated, this is not one of them. And I don't appreciate it.
George, can I read some of the Twitch comments to you right now?
They must be blowing up.
Fox_Trot is saying, no, don't do this.
Right.
Jeff Klon is saying, oh my. Bunker Hunkerer says no. Neptune11 says no, he can't. Nate Dog Fourth says, oh no. Nate Dog Fourth says, oh my God, no.
These are notes for Darren Aronofsky. These are notes. Send your complaints to Darren Aronofsky. DarrenAronofsky@gmail.com. I don't. Maybe. I mean, it might be.
Are these notes for what just happened, or are these older notes?
These are real-time commentary on.
These are real-time comments.
Okay.
I'm not the one. I made Phantom Menace. I didn't make Requiem for a Dream. And I think if you look at my body of work, you know that I would never have made Requiem for a Dream.
No. Ever. The second half of that movie was garbage. What?
If I was going to make the closest I would make to Requiem for a Dream would be we wrecked our car because we were driving too fast. That's the closest I would come to making Requiem for a Dream.
And you just saved yourself, George.
A better second half of the movie.
You redeemed yourself.
Hey, Sarah. Yeah. How did you decide to become a voice actress?
Oh, really? Come on. Oh, Jesus. It wasn't much of a decision. I was setting out to be a regular old actress, and then I happened to book the role of Ash on Pokemon, and things kind of snowballed in a decent way from there. And I decided to pivot my interests a little bit and pursue what was right in front of me, rather than going after.
I heard that voice actors sometimes refer to non-voice actors as face actors. Is this true?
I've said it kind of jokingly, maybe. Face actors.
All of the best comedy jokes, all the best jokes have a kernel of truth.
Yes, I mean they are face actors, but they're also full body actors. So that's not an accurate. It is a joke. It's not an accurate assessment, and they also do use their voices. So there's the only thing that really differs is that we only use our voices. Well, only our voices are captured. We are actually using our entire bodies. We are acting in the booth, but only the voices get captured.
Right.
It's the same thing. But face actors will never tell.
Here's an actual question.
Yeah.
Well, but here's an actual question. Face actors are kind of fucked these days.
Yeah,
in our current climate.
Bit.
Voice actors are suddenly like you're worth your weight in gold. How has this changed your sort of career, your work process? Have you been recording during this?
Yes, I've been recording. I've been working on Marvel's Black Widow: Bad Blood, which is an audio drama currently available on serialbox.com and on their app.
Now, is this connected in any way to the Taylor Swift song?
No, not at all. No Taylor Swift in this. It's just
Do you know
me.
that song?
No.
Because now we got bad blood. You know, we used to be mad. You got a really big problem, and I don't think we can solve them.
Very impressive. Okay, I didn't know the words at all.
And that song is a reference specifically to Anakin Skywalker's midichlorian level.
Yeah.
Naturally.
He's got bad blood. They got a bad feeling about that.
You got that bad blood, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Duel of the Fates. They're fighting with their lightsabers. They're jumping around. It's getting very exciting now.
But you were saying, I mean, you were recording the Black Widow series. How is it different? How is it the same? Doing it from home.
Well, yeah, doing it from home makes it a little bit different. My director is on Skype or on the phone with me, and I don't have to see anybody, which is kind of great. Yeah, it's all right. I just kind of roll out of bed and do it, which is kind of the way it was before. But I would actually have to get on the subway or go for a walk to the studio.
Right.
It's a shorter stretch of time at work, which is kind of nice. I can get right back to whatever I was doing. I can do this at 2 a.m. and it's fine.
Sarah, if I can ask a technical question, what kind of microphone setup do you have at home?
I have a Sennheiser 416 shotgun mic, and I have my old condenser, but I'm not using that anymore. And I kind of want to get the Gefell. I forgot the number of it, but there's a Gefell mic that apparently I should be using. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I outfitted my mom's closet. I evicted her from her bedroom closet, and I got some vinyl in there, and I got foam over the clothes. She can't access her lens. She's very unhappy with me. She calls me parasite. We have an interesting relationship.
Right.
Fun. And I'm staying with her. It's unusual that I'm staying with her, but I was in the middle of moving, actually. So half of my boxes are here.
Right.
It's a long story.
You're like the opposite of young Annie.
Is that
Anakin
right?
Skywalker. He moves out of his. Leaves his mother, and says "Yippee."
He says,
"Whereas
she's going to say Yippee. She's going to be very happy when I say
Yippee. Yippee. Yippee.
Yippee.
Yippee. Yippee. Oh, yippee. He says yippee.
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 I see. Yeah, get on board, Patrick. Come on.
Come on, Patrick, give us a quick yippee.
Yippee. Real close.
Yippee.
There he is. Good boy. Very nice. Yeah, she's very happy to get rid of me, I think. I've cooked one meal since I've been here, and I ordered a pizza. So I'm a parasite.
What was the meal? What was the meal you cooked?
Oh God, COVID. Big baby bagel bites. Big baby bagel bites. That's it.
Ooh, I want to say this.
Yeah.
That's a Star Wars character, and we don't even need to change the name. We just change the spelling.
Okay.
But Big Baby Bagel Bites, it just turned it into 2 words instead of 4.
Your move.
Big Baby Bagel Bites.
Big baby. Yeah. Big baby
And
bagel bites.
and he is an actual large infant, made of tiny little bagel bites.
Yeah, good.
His whole body looks like little bites of a bagel. And his catchphrase is, "Why was I born?"
Okay.
Why was I born?
More pained.
Huh?
More pained. More pained.
Why was I born?
Right.
Why was I born?
Something like that.
I mean, I love it.
I think this is like the opposite of Big Baby Bagel Bites is the opposite of Baby Yoda in terms of people wanting to see this character or buy merchandise. I think this character should be the shocking flip side of Baby Yoda. Big Baby Bagel Bites is one of nature's mistakes, one of the great natural mistakes of the Star Wars universe.
That's what my mom says.
Created by... Oh, here comes a great line of dialogue.
Oh.
No, did we miss it where they say no? He says no.
Yeah, you missed it, George.
You missed it, George.
Well, he says no.
Did they start wearing makeup, and why? Can I ask that question?
At what point does who?
Why do they start wearing some? Suddenly, I'm looking at this. I'm usually looking at your beautiful faces. And then sometimes I click back over to the movie, and I see Princess Leia suddenly full face of makeup, really strange stuff. And the other guy, Samuel Jackson, I think it is, he's got a full face of. Why? So when do they morph into the makeup?
Oh wow, these.
Well,
okay.
there's a lot to unpack. First of all, there's no way you saw Princess Leia. She's not even close to being.
Amidala.
Yes, Queen Amidala.
That's Queen Amidala for you.
Anakin isn't even old enough to conceive a child at this point. He hasn't developed. He's a little boy.
Right.
But Queen Amidala is ovulating. She is of childbearing age already. Her future husband, her future spouse, is still a child. And the reason they're wearing makeup is because these are the good times. They're wearing makeup to show that this is before, I don't want to spoil too much, but before some very bad things start to happen. So what I wanted to show...
This is an opulent culture.
They are into the
pageantry of the royals.
Of course.
They have the time to put their face on, to make to get dolled up, to make themselves just take a moment to indulge in a little bit of cosmetic frivolity or ceremony. In the case of Queen Amidala, I'd say it's ceremonial. She's got an image to put forward, and she's regal, and she's exotic, and she wants to present herself a certain way to her people. I think she feels she owes it to her people to present a glamorous face that is also intriguing and mystifying. There's an enigmatic quality, and also a little bit of there's a distancing too. She doesn't want people to get too close, and the makeup is in some ways a mask. Darth Maul wears makeup, much like juggalos exist when we made this. Does anyone know?
Yes, juggalos were around.
Absolutely.
Probably, yeah.
Right?
80s?
Well, Darth Maul is kind of a juggalo.
Okay.
There are some things that are one-to-one in Star Wars, and I will say this: that Darth Maul constantly, and we never filmed this, and I wish we had because I'd like to show it. Darth Maul is constantly drinking Faygo.
Yes, and Darth Maul is so committed to that juggalo life that he doesn't put on the makeup; he has it tattooed permanently. It's like the way that the Carrot Top has mascara permanently tattooed. He does because he was just like, "Oh, save me time before I go on stage. Just wake up with the mascara." So Darth Maul was just like, "Let's just commit to this.
Yeah,
I'm ready to rock this 24/7. Give me."
Now, I want to point out that a little boy just killed a lot of people.
Little boys are dangerous.
And
this little boy,
he
just killed a lot of people.
Yippee!
In an what?
Yippee! He said yippee when those people died. He thought,
boy, killing everybody. Yippee!
Yippee!
Yippee! People say that there's people who watch these in machete order where they don't think you need to see Phantom Menace at all because they think, well, there's nothing that we see here. And I say, I showed you a little bad boy who killed a lot of people in what, if anyone else did this, like if someone did what he just did tomorrow, we would call it terrorism.
Yep.
He just committed an act of terrorism. He killed, and now the Trade Federation, I'll admit it, they were greedy.
Yes.
They were very greedy.
Yes.
But did they deserve to die for their greed at the hands of a homicidal child who says yippee when he kills?
yippee.
When he says yippee when he leaves his mom. Yippee when he kills the people. Yippee, yippee, yippee.
Yippee!
Look, if Gus Van Sant made a movie about the child this full of anger and this capable of terrorism, they'd give him the fucking Palme d'Or for it. He'd win top prize at the Cannes Film Festival, and he did. George does it, they go, oh, he's popcorn. He's a little popcorn.
Yeah. Do you
Knock,
think
knock,
having a child...
Knock. Hold on. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Who's there? Gus Van Sant. Why are you knocking with your palm? Because I just won the fucking Palme d'Or. That's what Gus Van Sant says.
Rub it in my face, why don't you?
They'll give that guy the golden palm for anything, but will they give it to a Star Wars? No, they won't.
Never.
George, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
There's a guy in this.
Oh wait, do we have time? Hold on, do we have time?
I think we do, but you're gonna miss him. There's a guy in this scene who's dressed exactly like Mace Windu, but it's not Mace Windu, and I wanted to know why that is.
It sounds like it's because you're a racist.
Yeah.
No. He's a Jedi, and he's standing with the whole Jedi Council, and he looks just like Samuel L. Jackson.
Back off.
Wait a second.
I am not the bad guy here.
Slow your roll.
Look in between
Where?
Palpatine. He's in between Palpatine. He's next to Plo Koon. He's with the entire rest of the Jedi Council, George. Why is it not Mace Windu?
This is Patrick. You're showing your ass here. This is like Samuel Jackson.
Now you're never going to see it.
I'll tell you why. It's because
he looks so different.
There isn't some quota on the Jedi Council.
Thank you.
All right. Shame on you, Patrick.
Shame on you, Patrick. And actually, Patrick, you're canceled.
Yippee.
Start doing my hair like
I don't know who you're talking about.
Racist.
I don't see anybody else. I didn't see anybody who looks like Samuel L. Jackson, except Samuel L. Jackson, who's Mace Windu. He does a hell of a job.
There's so many people still watching this stream. Can you uncancel me?
No, you're canceled.
Come on.
We have time. We'll uncancel you a couple hours.
Paul Notstorm just canceled you. So did Max Rebo 84. Every time I see his name, I bring up this Max Rebo right under the camera.
So goes Max Rebo, so goes the country. Oh, no.
Now, Sarah, I feel like you were about to say something before George interrupted you to make his point.
Oh, yeah. I had a question. Something about the film, I don't remember it now.
No. You have to. We'll spend as long as it takes.
Okay. This is going to get fun. Why... So the makeup thing I asked about.
The makeup?
I can't remember.
It was right before. Was it right before Anakin killed all those people?
Yes. Oh my God. Thank you. So, do you feel that maybe it was irresponsible to have a murderous child, considering this is a children's movie and it could inspire children to become super killers?
Well, that's why I made the other. That's why I made the other two Star Wars movies, to show you what's the first thing that Darth Vader says after he becomes Darth Vader.
I am your father.
He says no, and that's telling children you don't want to grow up to be. You don't want to grow up to be Darth Vader. It's not cool.
No good, very bad. Don't do it.
Do you think children really
you might?
Yeah, get that far?
I think children understand that it's not cool to have to live in a robot suit. You have your best friend cut off your arms and legs and leave you to die in front of a volcano.
No way to live.
Is that what you want?
No.
Is that what you want? That's what you ask a child. You say, "Do you want your best friend to cut off your arms and legs and leave you to die in a flurry of molten lava?" Most children will say no, and you say, "That's what Darth Vader said." He said no. Only when he said it, he didn't just say no. He said no. And by the way, when we get to that part in Revenge of the Sith, we're gonna do that again. We're gonna say no.
Absolutely. Sarah, you also have to remember this film was over 20 years ago. This was George trying to warn people. He was saying,
yes,
things can be
The movie's about to end. The movie's about to end. Peace. That's the word, peace. Yahoo! Cheering continues.
You talk about
everything
George predicted. Remember that picture of Trump touching the orb?
Yeah,
I mean, George
called it
20 years ahead of the curve.
Amazing.
He was there.
Now, admittedly, written and directed by George Lucas. Admittedly, Boss Nass is not disgusting like Donald Trump is physically.
No,
he's a handsome. He's a looker.
He couldn't be his physical results came back. He couldn't be healthier. He's in peak physical. He's the healthiest boss.
The healthiest Gungan. The healthiest Gungan in Gungan City. Gungan City.
I was hoping to get lipstick by the end of this so I could at least be appropriate, but I can't find it. So.
We've reached the end of the first movie. We only have A lucky 13 movies left to go.
Lucky 13.
Have an amazing time, you guys. I gotta go.
Yeah, no,
Sarah,
Sarah.
Sarah, no, Sarah, stay till the end. Stay till Tuesday morning.
30 hours.
Yeah, just casual. Stay for another casual 28 hours.
Sarah, it was so nice to have you with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yippee.
Yippee, my friends.
Yippee.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye, Sarah. And then there were 3, just like a trilogy.
What a fun time.
What a fun time we had.
Now, George, one of the things we're doing here is we have to redefine the trilogies here, because people will call them the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, the sequel trilogy. These titles are wrong, but also we're including many other films here. So we need to redesignate what makes up which trilogy.
Yes. And the first trilogy is sometimes called the prequel trilogy, but for the purpose of this, what do you call a 14-film series? What do you call that? Is there a name for a 14-film series?
I'll look it up.
Patrick, what's Roman for 14?
Let's see.
It's XIV, isn't it?
Yeah, but like there has to be. Is there like a?
Ooh, Disney Plus is telling me that I may also like Star Wars: Attack of the Clones.
Oh,
you know what, Disney Plus? You know me.
Really well.
I do also like Star Wars: Attack of the Clones.
I see people suggesting a quattro decalogue and also a 14-logy.
I don't know.
Ben Quattro Decalogue Narrows. You get that?
Okay, so we should tell everybody we're going to fully go back to the main menu and then click start once this is done.
Right.
So we can all start at the same time.
We're going to play the credits in full. But I think Quattro Decalogue is the right one.
Quattro Decalogue.
Yeah.
And we have time now for us to explain the way we're going to break down these trilogies. The first trilogy, previously known as the prequel trilogy.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. We're going to rebrand them the Gungan trilogy.
That's it.
Now, I know that Jar Jar only features prominently in the first movie.
Yes.
But his actions in the Senate have a ripple effect. So there's a tremendous economy of character. We get to know Jar Jar and his community so well in episode 1 that we can rely on a relative kind of shorthand. In the second movie, we only see Jar Jar a little bit, but it's enough because now Jar Jar is in our hearts, he's in our minds, and we don't need to. We've invested the time so that you don't need him for the purposes of story.
No.
Because let's face it, if Jar Jar was in the romance scenes, he'd be tripping all over everybody. He'd be goofing up the romance, and you can't have that for the purposes of story.
In the middle of all of that,
he'd be making a fool of himself in the most delightful way. But we have to stay focused on the story.
Absolutely.
In the third movie, we see Jar Jar's actions come to full flower in a very harrowing manner. And the only Jar Jar that we need to see is his grief. Now, I don't want to spoil it, but in one shot, the character of Jar Jar Binks in episode 3 conveys more true feeling than most characters convey in 3 full movies.
I couldn't agree more.
So people ask, why wasn't Jar Jar in more of episode 2 or episode 3?
Don't need it.
And the question is, it's so you would ask that question.
Exactly. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
The question is the answer.
Yep. The medium is the message.
Answer the question is, as Yoda might say. Shout out to my second unit director, Roger Christian.
Great man.
Great man.
Hey guys, do we want to talk about another donor?
Oh
yes, let's talk about another donor.
Okay, let's talk about Kyle Schlata. SCHLAHTA.
Oh, the great Kyle.
Easy. Just change the E to an O, and we've got it. Kylo Schlata. He's he's one of the Knights of Ren. Changed his name. He was Kyle Schlata, and then he had family issues, and he changed his name to Kylo Schlata.
Right.
Done and done.
He's
I mean,
a Knight
Kylo
of
Ren.
which is why he took
That's
the Kylo and not the Ren part.
Yeah, he's a Knight of Shlata. It's separate from the Knights of Ren. The Knights of Shlata. We don't know a lot about them,
Good
but what?
Good fix, George.
Great fix. Oh God! All right, we're right at the end of the credits,
Right.
and if you experienced any condition that detracted from the theatrical presentation of this film, please call 1-800-PHONE-THX. Do it now.
Do it.
Call
I'll do it.
THX and do it on speakerphone.
Yeah.
This motion picture has been rated PG by the Motion Picture, and now we have the credits for the translations.
But we're going to do a little break here in between the movies, and Patrick, you will call THX and put them on speakerphone.
We are calling THX.
Guys, while we're doing this, let's all queue up Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
Yeah, got it ready.
I don't think anyone's going to pick up.
We'll see.
They'll pick up. They're busy. They're busy.
Do you think a lot of people are having trouble?
I think a lot of people are probably calling THX.
George, you got to call somebody. This is a problem.
Come on. The audience is listening.
Yeah, the audience is waiting for them to pick up the phone.
Ugh.
Oh boy. Hey George, here's a question. Was the Master Codebreaker a ripoff of Agent Kingston from Decker?
Maybe.
Do you know what any of those words mean, George?
I know who the Master Codebreaker is.
Okay.
I know
What's Decker? I know what Becker is. He's
Sure.
a doctor who's rude to people.
Yeah, pretend like it's from Becker.
No, he was a ripoff of Ted Danson's character from Becker.
Very close. You are only one letter off.
Oh, it hung up. It rang so many times and then it hung up.
Okay, so that's
Call
another.
again.
This is another recurring segment in between every movie. Patrick is going to call
We call
THX.
THX. It'll be great once we get to the point where their offices are open. I can't believe THX, a company that's built on sound,
Yes.
doesn't have a voicemail.
We are right now in the hours before the THX workday starts, and then we are going to be streaming throughout their entire workday, and then them going back to sleep, and then them starting a new workday.
Let me say this. Yippee! Let me say this. Let me say this. Not only should they, I think the reason they probably don't have a voicemail is because the THX voicemail would be such high quality audio that people would leave messages. It would take up too much server space.
Literally.
Can I talk about this comment from Los Cruz? He says, Kingston is the master codebreaker, and in The Last Jedi, which you directed, you ripped it off. Another case of Hollywood stealing from Decker again.
No.
George, what do you have to say?
No. Decker
He's saying I directed?
He's
series.
saying you directed The Last Jedi.
He's wrong.
He's wrong.
Wow. I wonder if your real name is Johnson, because you are lying, Johnson. If you say I directed The Last Jedi, that's nothing to do with me. I was working on my museum. I have a real alibi. There's pictures of me breaking ground at the museum. Are we ready? It's 1:35. Are we ready? Or it's 2:35. Are we ready for?
We are ready to
should we
go.
hit play? Yeah.
Can I wait? Hold on. Can I get some more water before we start? I just want to fill
Some
up.
more what? Some more what?
Water.
Watto?
Water
Sure.
for Watto.
Sure, go,
All right.
Watto.
Go, but hurry, because we're losing time.
George, I'll say this. We still have 295 people watching the stream. How does that make you feel?
It feels like we've lost a lot of people.
Not really.
Like 50 people?
Yeah, that's not a lot, though.
I mean, I don't consider that this is going to be our peak viewing time. I think we're heading into a hard stretch.
Yes, I agree.
And the only people that I care about who are really watching this are me and Watto and you.
Thanks, George.
We're doing this for ourselves, and if anyone else wants to watch along, then that's fine.
And for the laid-off UCB staff, which people can donate to by going to the link up here.
Yeah, I want to get them some money, but I don't care if they watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Look at that Bitly.
Look at that.
Bitly, UCB staff. Great stuff. Is Watto going to dig a well on Tatooine to get this water? Is he going to a moisture farm? Did Watto go all the way to a moisture farm to get this water?
I don't know why we didn't start.
Why didn't we start?
He's seen the beginning of the movie. He's in the movie.
We are 2 minutes behind. That's 2 minutes we won't get back.
Watto.
I mean, we can make it up.
Should I just start it and then he can catch up?
No, but we're going to talk about this when he gets back. He can't go for a water break that is 3 minutes long.
George, what was it like having Jon Favreau film his chef show at Skywalker Ranch? Oh, good,
I'm
he's back.
you babies.
It was delicious.